Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Trader TV Live. Futures starting in positive territory with the NQ about up 0.13. Likewise with the ES trading above 6,000 at the moment here, up 0.15. The Dow faring the best of the four major averages, up 0.25%, and the Russell essentially flat right now. But it is Bitcoin that we have our eye on, below 90,000 right now, trading at barely above 89,000, down 5.25% with a big move coming overnight. Lots to talk about in terms of headlines. SMCI, today is deadline day. They have to file or they will be in trouble with the NASDAQ. We also got more commentary from Donald Trump overnight about restrictions, Adara, for some of these U.S. chips. So the SMH, NVIDIA, all on watch. Apple being analyzed here by some analysts after that $500 billion investment yesterday. Yes. And then we got some more Tesla data about deliveries.
We did, and those new vehicle registrations in the EU were not great. We actually had an increase in new battery EV registration in the EU, but just Tesla was really lagging here, down 45% year over year. Crypto also, of course, on watch with that crack below 90,000, but Riot Platforms also on watch with their earnings. They did beat on sales here, but their Bitcoin production actually down on a year-over-year basis. So bit of a mixed look here for RIOT. I suspect a lot of these miners and crypto names are going to be on watch today for a lot of people.
And we'll keep an eye today on Chinese ADRs, guys. They've been very strong lately. They got hit very aggressively yesterday, already moving up to start the morning. Alibaba and the like. Keep your eye on Li Auto. It's up 13% after it finally delivered its first electric vehicle. Guys, we'll keep an eye on HIMS, Tempest AI, as well as they reported yesterday, and Eli Lilly coming out with another headline today. So lots to talk about already with the market in positive territory. We got Obi in for Neil. He's under the weather. Good morning, boys.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell with the position board, but I know Fabian's a busy man. Obi, how's it going? You're muted, apparently.
Oh boy,
you're muted, and Adara's mic is live.
What's going on, guys?
So we've got a lot going on here. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. I feel like we got long Bitcoin. 87.7 got filled. I woke up and saw a bid filled. So we'll have to wait to see what happens right there. Crypto going to be an interesting one today. I'm looking at Apple. SMCI should be fun. SMCI. I don't know. If you're planning on trading that, I'll probably have to get you some shorts.
Yes.
For pay for shorts. So I want to make sure that we do wind up doing that. But yeah, you know, Neil's under the weather. So as it seems like it's going around here. I keep saying that we need an air filter around here, but that doesn't seem to be happening. So we'll just continue to do that. And we'll thanks to Dara, Sharif can be filling in there. Brendan's is taking a day off as well. Joe's in the building, so he's
Joe's
like
ecstatic right now. I don't know. He's like laughing. You got a position going on? Are you already in a trade, bro? Like, what's going on?
I think the bang is hilarious.
Oh, okay. He's saying the bang is hilarious.
What bang? Oh, the rapid bangs there? Yeah. So, look. Oh, there it is again. Yeah, yesterday we had some people looking at, I just saw in the chat, there's SoFi, some Robinhood, all these names, man. A lot of froth coming out of many, many names. Over the last couple of days. We had that HIMS yesterday get hit, down 20-something%. We'll check out that as it goes through. We had Robinhood yesterday with a big move down. SoFi has been getting absolutely clocked as well. This was a $17 name. Look at SoFi right here, actually, unfortunately, to all of you here, Fabian. Let me just show this quickly. Breaking through that 14 mark, this looks like this could get hurt pretty bad here as well, down to the 200 period moving average. And then yesterday, look, I like Robinhood, I just realized. Okay, good. I wasn't sure the chart would change if I did that. Down to the 50 period moving average, froth coming out right there. The biggest and the baddest of them all as well. Palantir yesterday, down 10%, trying to battle back right now. I woke up in the market, like as I said, I get filled at that Bitcoin. I'm like, oh no, I know I didn't have any offers out to sell, so it must have gone the other way. Came back in right there, and you could see, let me call up the Bitcoin chart if I can find it. It should be right here. Nope, this is not it. But anyways, we'll just call this up anyways. I was looking at, this is an ETF for the, whoopsies. This is an ETF for the S&P, not that though, not that. This is the S&P in Canada, VFV, not hedged. So I was looking at this currency here versus hedged. So I was looking at the XSP, which is a TSX. These are all located in Toronto, but they mimic the S&P 500. So I was just looking at, one was hedged, VFV unhedged, XSP hedged, and you can see the difference here of performance. One down yesterday, 157, one down 126. So just with currency hedging making a big difference. But okay, so I was just looking at that because you know what? I was thinking about it. Like a lot of my positions are obviously U.S. names. Yeah. So I was looking at a hedged product. And so I'm not playing that sort of ripper in the Forex. I don't have to really worry too much about that. But then again, the way the dollar's been appreciating in the U.S. side of things, you know, it's been a good ride for that. I just wanted to show here, right here, this is Bitcoin. So there's that drop in right now. What do we have up in here? Oh, it's still looking at XSP. Yeah, it's not gonna, the market's gonna get outperformed there. Let's just trash that. See ya. So right there, 88.89. We got filled at 87.7 just for fun. And that was this level right back here. It goes back to November here for crypto. So it's just a 1 hour chart. If we look at the daily here, it's not much better, man, as there have been some liquidations. Joe was talking about once we sort of broke that level. Everyone was laughing when I was like, hey, are we going to get to 50 or 150 first? There's not one person that said 50. I think people might be changing their mind at this point right now. So you're always better to be a contrarian, it seems like. But there's the 200 period, 81. That could get tested. And I believe the next level there is 70. The guy on the right over here thinks 30,000 is a possibility. And I said, if you think 30,000 is a possibility, why are you still long crypto, right? And he goes, well, you never know. And I was just like, yeah,
I mean, never sell is the hodl, right? I'm like, yeah, I understand, but it's like I'm just trying to get more over time, and I don't hold Bitcoin.
Yeah, you hold worse ones. You hold ones that are getting way more crushed today, right?
No, not necessarily, but
no,
yeah.
You don't think so?
I mean, I just checked on.
I mean, I remember, and this is not about you or me or anything like that. We were here when we were talking about Dogecoin. You love this thing at 37, 38 cents. Yeah. Now you're down on Dogecoin down to 20. No, that's not 29 cents. That's 29. Yeah. Oh, this is market cap. Hold on a second here.
A bit of money moving.
We'll just look at US dollar right here. That's 20 cents.
Oh, I like the little.
So I mean, if you loved it up here, Obi,
yeah.
I mean,
gotta love it down there.
Right, but then but you know, this is what I'm saying is like at some point, I don't know. I hope it's not a house of cards, man. I really do. But the big problem for me with crypto is, and look, I didn't sell anything either. So I mean, this is not like do as I say here. This is the problem with crypto is MicroStrategy, okay? Because the thing is, this guy, Michael Saylor, owns maybe Adair or somebody knows how many millions of coins or whatever it is here of crypto. When this guy sells, it is going to become an epic,
he's gonna sell though?
He's not gonna have a choice when they get called.
Yeah, that's
because the thing is he's borrowed money on top of crypto. Every single time these guys raise capital, they dump the $1 billion or whatever they raise right into crypto. Yeah. So the thing is that either this is gonna, if he ever has to liquidate, then all of a sudden, not only the market of Bitcoin is gonna get tanked, what's gonna happen over here? And so I think there's been some warning signs for that. There's gonna be way more educated people in our chat. There's way more people on Twitter. There's all of this that's happening right now that knows more about this house of cards. But I'm just a little nervous here about MSTR. So I would say watch out for this one as an interesting play.
I think that's definitely a good look. If there is something to watch in the crypto world, it'll definitely be something like MSTR. And yeah, just the whole point of liquidation. I don't know what their cost basis is. I think it's around $60 or something like that.
It's just about paying those coupon payments.
But yeah, exactly. So it's like, you're right. If a big player does sell, then yeah, you can definitely overwhelm some of this. Well, the book and the price action will definitely follow in step. But yeah, just looking back at the chart, we know that Bitcoin has had 50 to 60, even 70% retracements at times, aggressive ones. So yeah, I think it's more than within its capability of doing so. But at the end of the day, yeah, I think I'm in the meme coins just for the hodls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The long-term hodls. But yeah, no, Bitcoin. We'll see what happens. We're definitely living through.
We talk about it all the time. I mean, you got to make plays.
Yeah.
You know,
and a little crowded, right? I think we can all admit that 100,000 a little crowded. Everyone's trying to, you know, the FOMO for 100,000 is definitely a thing.
I mean, the FOMO was real. We talked about Sharif wasn't really involved too much in Bitcoin, got involved once it was up there. I mean, a lot of traders liked it. We had we had a lot of traders come on saying that this was like the greatest chart, the greatest breakout of all time. Now, of course, they'll be saying a little bit of the opposite.
That was nice.
I just put it right here. Good morning, traders. So what are we trading today? So go over, find it out. Here's your opportunity to let us know. You know, I have this sticky note. You have your morning trading plan as well. I just put in the chat there. Join us in the chat. Go find out what we're all trading today. And here we go. Victor says, today's a good day for a bounce back. So maybe he's trading long the equity, S&P, NASDAQ, going with Tesla all the way up or down. So I'm going to say bang on that one too, Alejandro. If this is what I'm talking about, stay in your lane. If you're going to trade Tesla up or down, watch. It's right. Get that out of here. I think you drew the foul there. But what about you? Yeah, well, you're going to find out that in a minute, in a second. Plymouth fading me. That's good. That's always a good play. Wouldn't have been yesterday, of course. Sound there, HIMS and Tempest. So we got that going. You know what? Soundhound is going to be an interesting play as well there. So, yeah, man, everybody, trolls, everybody that has a great idea, come over, hit me up on Twitter, on X. Let me know what you're trading today. Yeah, Soundhound. And, you know, sometimes you get these ideas, and that's why I want to talk about it, because, you know, a name that I'm not looking at right here today, Soundhound now underneath 10. And look how good this stock looks on a daily if you're trying to break through some levels to the downside there, maybe 9 back into 650. Oh, you know what that reminds me of? You see what Big Bear AI is doing right now, $6. So this is actually not moving that much. We bought it right here yesterday. So give me one name real quick that you're looking at.
SMCI today. I think we're all anticipating.
I'm gonna get those shares.
I mean, you can anticipate whatever we want, but I am waiting maybe for some news. Let's see how the opening happens. We know that their deadline is today to put in their filing or risk being delisted. So a little bit of a pop happening here. A lot of people expecting them to definitely put in that filing today at some point before the deadline and meet the deadline. But yeah, a lot of exciting stuff here. SMCI, one of the names definitely on watch. Definitely not going to get involved with it right away, but yeah.
People are liking XRP over there as well. All right, a new segment that we sort of had for the last couple of weeks, I believe. Pretty popular one as well. I'm excited to hear what we're talking about. I think last week was the VIX. I don't think I wasn't here, but I was watching it. I was like, who is this handsome guy over there? But right now it is Options Minute with Joe, the options guy.
Let's go.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Yes, exactly. Last week, we talked about the VIX and the PCR, the put-to-call ratio. But today, we're going to talk about a little bit something different here. If we can pull up my chart, I think this is really important and a highly anticipated earnings report. So there's some key things and key metrics that we want to look at here on the options chain. So first, we're going to start with the expected move here coming tomorrow evening after the bell when NVDA reports. So we're looking at about a 9.3% expected move here, guys, in this name on this report. So where is that exactly going to put us? That can put us up to 143 and change there, guys, to the top side. And then to the downside, we also need to be worried about what can happen that way as well, guys. So that would put us around that 117 price target. But there's some key things that I want to point out here, and I think there are really important metrics. As you can see from previous expected moves, they did not exceed them, okay? So a very, very tight range. The previous one only was about 0.5%, and the one before that only about 6.3%, okay? That is really important and something key. But there's another term that I want to reference here, and I think it's going to be really, really important. And this is why we look at high levels of open interest on the options chain. And what I have discovered here previously was really curious to me, and now I'm going to explain it to you guys on what potentially can happen, all right? So let's take a look here, folks, and see what we have with the highest levels of open interest, okay? This is really important to gauge. Where is this? How come that didn't do that? So, okay, anyways, what we're gonna do here, guys, is we're gonna focus on the high levels of open interest. So what you guys can see here is at that 40 strike price, that $140 strike price is really important. You can see it on the call side. But what we really want to reference here as well too, guys, is how much open interest is also on the put side. So you can see that we have 97,000 currently open contracts on the call side and 85,000 on the put side. Well, what can this tell you? A lot of traders are possibly hedging their positions, okay? We can classify them as short calls or short puts, but truly we don't know. But what this effect can be is a term called options pinning. Okay, options pinning is when you have high levels of open interest at both sides of the same strike. So this is what we really want to focus on. And what can this do? This can cause a push and a pull effect, right? So with short calls and long puts, short puts, sorry, this can just leave this underlying asset in a pinned area. And I believe with NVDA reporting tomorrow and with extreme levels of open interest at this 140 strike price, this is a key level we want to look out for. A lot of people like to refer it as a call wall and a put wall here because due to that high levels of open interest, guys. So really what we want to keep our eyes on is this $140 strike price because I think it's going to be a key level and a key metric on that report. Now, in order for us to break through those levels, we're going to need a participant to push through that amount of liquidity, and that's going to take a hefty amount of money, guys. So watch out for that $140 target there on NVDA tomorrow evening. Send it to Sharif.
Oragenics has a major headline today. It looks as if here Dr. James Kelly presents the Oragenics intranasal neurosteroid for rapid targeted concussion care, supporting early diagnosis and treatment. Also, Oragenics integrating its BrainBox solutions platform into clinical trials to enhance concussion detection, prognosis, and treatment precision. There's also the fast recovery and lower risk. So by combining innovative drug delivery with advanced diagnostics, Oragenics aims to improve outcomes and reduce long-term complications. They're definitely setting a new standard with their trigger to treat strategy, transforming concussion management with faster, more effective, guys, intervention. I believe, though, we do have Adara with some, we'll send it to the boys.
Yo, what's going on? Look at that, Sean here is getting his sticky note ready. I'm getting my morning trade plan ready as well. Got some tickers on watch today. We can go through some of the tickers that I have on watch. Palantir, I'm watching as of right now, one of the top ideas. But let's see. I was looking for continuation. We're catching a bit of a bid back into some of these prior days levels. Bit of a held offer potentially there at that 94. We saw that consolidation happen before the end of the day in and around 94s. There, so that's going to be interesting. Let's see what we do in and around that 94 for that Palantir. Are sellers still on the table? That's the question I'm asking. Again, aggressive selling from Wednesday. We've been getting a bit of continuation day after day. Obviously not as clean every day, but it seems like sellers find a place to get involved almost every day. So I'm going to be watching that PLTR. I think Adara is ready for us.
Pretty interesting upgrades and downgrades list here. We have Walmart getting upgraded by DZ Bank. Block here now trading as XYZ. Had a pretty rough earnings day one, now getting its second upgrade in 2 days. This one from Morgan Stanley. Quanta being upgraded here by BMO Capital Markets, and BGC up 4% with an upgrade from BofA Securities. On the downgrade side of things, one of today's biggest earnings losers, Tempus AI TEM, with a downgrade here from JP Morgan Chase. Realty Income, another earnings name from last night with an Exane BNP Paribas downgrade. We've got Liberty here getting downgraded by Barclays, Civitas getting downgraded by KeyBank Capital Markets. So some interesting names here on both sides of the aisle, particularly some of these upgrades. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara.
Yeah, we did have, I did like that. Oh, I got to connect to my Benzinga Pro platform right there. I was looking at that Tempest. Yeah, to be honest with you, I mean, that was another name that's been discussed here. We have earnings down to $60. Not great, obviously, as we pull back in here, down into the 50-period moving average. We will maybe potentially be discussing this one today as it's on radar. Over close to 2 million shares traded right now. I'm not going to really discuss the report rate this second, but as far as downgrade, it hasn't really moved too much here in the pre-market. So this could be an interesting level that if we break it with some kind of volume once this market opens up, that's 59. Basically 59 flat area is not going to be good, and then you run to that 50-period moving average. So I feel like this is going to be a good short opportunity here today, unfortunately, as we break below, and then we see if there's going to be some kind of support down here near $50 for Tempest as well. And then, on the other side of it all, we talked about well, not the other side of it, but a similar move to the downside for HIMS here. There's been a lot of traders been involved with this name as it's been an absolute rocket ship up, and I just think that when you're looking at names, like we talked about some of the froth coming out of the market, we're waiting for that sizzle, and I mean, it's getting close. These have been some really, I don't want to say weak hands. I wonder if it's the same people that play the momentum to the upside that are maybe playing the momentum to the downside and then pushing this still to the short. Again, I'm always looking at 50-period moving averages for possible buys, and right into there, $34, $35. That looks like a great top matched with the 50-period moving average. So we're going to discuss all of this, but both of these names into SSR territory. And what that means is short sale restricted, so you can't go short here, you can only go short here. So you can't offer into the bid and take this out. The only people that can hit the bid are traders that are long. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem. You could get a bounce back upside right there. But again, I don't think we bounce until we find some kind of areas of support. So for both of these plays, I think it has to be on our radar, but you need to look for that sort of bounce back and see if there's an exhaustion candle. So we'll set up some scanners to sort of scan for high volume prints. And if those come through, then you can flip over to the stocks. Hopefully we'll be able to get indicated here on eSignal or Trade Ideas or whatever platform you guys are using there to scan for sort of big, like, I'm just looking for those whoosh moments. They call them the capitulated. Yeah. Like, oh, the bottom's not in yet because we haven't had a capitulation.
Yes.
So even in the stock market right now, we're only 2% away from all-time highs. And most people would act like we're, if you look at my Twitter feed right now, people would think that, the market has completely crashed, which it has not. I noticed there was no bananas there today. That was a little disappointing right there. Yeah, this is HIMS, so you get your online. Not hers? Not hers. You get your online medical. It is both, yes. But and then because Randy's here, let's have a quick look at Tesla. Wasn't doing much today, down 0.4, but down into that 330. I actually recently just bought some here at 330, hoping that this is going to be a play. But to the downside there, everyone's Rivi in there is looking at $10 hopefully soon, where you can buy a little bit more down there. If all of us, Neil, Randy, everybody likes this name at 14, you got to like it 30% lower down here at 11. So we'll have to wait to see what happens with Rivian. Most of these plays are going to be longer term ideas. So we'll wait to see if there's a hold up right now. Oh, I saw Nat Gas. I saw that the prices there at the pump were a little cheaper for me the last couple of days. So XOM right here battling nicely as well, which is good, especially in some of the turmoil. You want to have stocks that maybe have some yield to it, where you're getting paid to hold on to the stock. So again, a nice 3 to 4% dividend in CVX and XOM. Looks like it wants to hold above the 50-period moving average. That's always good as well there, Randy. So far so good. Enbridge been getting spanked a little bit there. But hey, at the end of the day, we're just going to become American, right? So we'll have to figure out what happens with energy stocks there, and it goes. But oh man, I would love a coffee, Randy. So thank you so much for that one. All right, Randy, everybody in the building. I was going to ask him about his car, but I saw he had a Jeep down there today. His alternator yesterday blew. Oh. Yeah, so I saw him. He went down there. He was boosting the car, and I'm like, let me know if there's anything I can do. And he had CAA coming, so forgot to mention that to him right there. So we'll talk to him about that after.
CAA always coming in pretty clutch.
They're always pretty clutch there.
I'm looking at LMNOP. No, I'm joking. XYZ, as they've changed their name here. But yeah, day 3 of earnings again with a little bit of an upgrade in the pre-market. Let's see what happens to this one. Kind of selling off on the earnings, and then earnings day 1 as well, earnings day 2 as well. So I got that earnings day 2 range on watch. The highs being 68s and some change, with the lows coming in at 65.02s. That's interesting. If we can get below 65.02s, Sean, I think we can definitely take a look at this one for a bit of continuation here. But yeah, some strong selling going into the close after making a high around 1:30 p.m. yesterday on block. But yeah, let's see if this one gives us a little bit of opportunity. And yeah, just going to be watching this one out of the ones from the upgrade and downgrade list is.
I'm actually writing Palantir short.
Yeah, I like that. I just talked about it. Palantir short. I like that. I kind of yeah. That's my top idea right here.
Oh God.
Palantir.
Okay, well there we go. So Obi and I didn't know that. I know you mentioned it. I didn't know it was a top play for you.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Let's see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Palantir. It's 8:55 right now. We've got Obi in the building. So Redbook U.S. sales just hit 6.2% versus 5.9. So a little bit of a better retail sales number. I'm hearing in my ear Redbook retail U.S. sales little bit higher than expected. All right, back over to the desk.
All right, Home Depot reported this morning, Adara. They're kind of down at the moment, a little bit up here, a little bit down, a little bit up. So let's talk about how they did. Quarterly sales reached almost $40 billion, $39.7 billion. The street was looking for 39.2, so it was a beat there. Earnings per share was also a beat. The street was looking for $3.04. They got $3.03. But that's kind of where it all falls apart, Adara, because the guide was a little late. They're projecting sales growth of 2.8% for the next quarter. The street was looking for 2.9, so a bit of a miss there. And when it comes to adjusted EPS, they're anticipating, believe it or not, a 2% decline, with analysts looking for a beat, 15.65 EPS instead of 15.24. So a little bit of a mixed report.
Yeah, the guidance, I think, especially as Sharif mentioned here, every piece of guidance I'm seeing that they gave was below analyst estimates. So in terms of the actual numbers, because I like that you guided it, the increase or decrease year over year, they did guide here $14.94 for adjusted earnings per share for fiscal 2025. So that's about 60 cents below the estimate of 15.57. For fiscal 2025, GAAP EPS also missing quite heftily, 14.46 versus, as Sharif mentioned, 15.55. Then their sales for the fiscal year, $163.98 billion they're expecting versus estimates of $164.17 billion. So again, great report here. Year-over-year increases for gross margin, year-over-year increases for sales, quite substantially, but just for the fiscal year, this is not looking great for HD.
All right, guys, up about 0.5%, a little bit less. What's a look?
Yeah, I mean, Home Depot, again, one of the top earnings names for today on my watch. But the thing is, it's not really doing too much. Yeah, we had a double beat on the report there, but trading pretty much within yesterday's range as of right now. We attempted to go a little bit higher, a little bit lower on the report, but yeah, kind of a little lackluster there. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, we'll see what happens when volume actually comes in off of the open. Let's check the hourly real quick here on the chart to see what it's been up to going into this earnings. So a little bit of a downtrend, pretty strong downtrend to say the least there. 430s, 426s highs, and we've kind of been bleeding back down. 400 break, oh boy, that was pretty clean. And when did that happen? That happened on February 19th, the 400 breakdown there. So we're coming into the next quarter there, 375s. Let's see if this bit of a downtrend can hold going into the open today. So right here, this is probably something that I am more than willing to watch and maybe alert on. Pretty clean, kind of a multi-day trend coming into this earnings. If we can break above, maybe a hold above this 385, 390s, then we can look for a potential push away from this trend. But yeah, maybe more of the same. Who knows? Sellers seem to be strong on this name.
I've got Rahim Alani messaging me. This guy's too much. We don't have Rahim Alani today. Oh, just going back and forth on Instagram. We shared a few funny things. I've been Rahim's friend for 15 years probably.
Wow.
Yeah. We've known him for a while. So, anyways, all right. So I talked about this yesterday. One of the earnings. Yeah, I'm going to have this eventually.
Yes.
Get those vitamin C. I was having those energy, Ener-C.
Oh, yeah.
They have like 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C,
really?
And you just dump them into cold water.
Yeah, is it the powder or the little drink?
The powder.
Okay,
Yeah. You make it. I think it's the same.
Yeah.
It's called Emergency.
Okay, true.
Hold on a second.
Nice.
I have to show it to you because I tweeted it out the other day. Hold on.
Got to keep the scurvy away.
Yeah, that's what this is me yesterday. Bang! What's up? Boom! We're going to the elimination chamber. Uh-oh. Don't show this. Don't show this. Oh, here it is right here. These things.
Oh, okay.
These things. So I was cracking these last week there. 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Anyways.
Nice.
Yeah, that was that there. No, I'm going to elimination chamber. It should be a lot of fun. My family.
What's
It's a WWE event.
Oh, okay.
It's at Rogers Center, sold out. It's going to be like
Oh, wow. Nice.
60, 70,000 people there on Saturday. And it's going to be wild. So I'm going with my kids
That's awesome.
and some friends. So it's going to be hilarious. We're going to be at Boston Pizza before. So anyone wants to join there, we'll have some pops and we'll figure it out. But look, I said to Home Depot, if we do get into that cut cycle, then I like Home Depot. And now it's not moving that much here off earnings. I think that's a good thing. Down into the 200 period moving average. It always gets hit early when that report comes out and then right there to the upside. The funny thing is here about wrestling, I haven't actually watched it in forever. There, Palantir, here we go. I thought I just... Oh, BA. Okay, so I heard something about Palantir, but Boeing and RTX Raytheon coming up with something there. Not much happening on that. No, but I haven't watched wrestling in a minute. My friend messaged me who's going with us. He's like, did you see SmackDown? I'm like, no.
Yeah. The last thing I remember
is
something
like The Rock came back. So I think he's going to be here as well. Rock and Cena.
I remember, I remember back in I was just about to say, John Cena, I remember there was this meme about this prank phone call meme. I know you guys might know about it, about John Cena SmackDown. I don't know, I'll send you the video. It's pretty hilarious. I think it was like this, mom had canceled WWE subscription at the house, so she kept on getting prank calls about resubscribing to the service. So
now it's all on Netflix. So now parents can't.
John Cena, SmackDown.
I love John Cena. He's been in some great movies. Ricky Stenicki, have you seen that? All right, back to the desk.
All right, guys, let's have a look at the futures. We closed out right at 6,000 yesterday on the ES March contract. We're exactly there right now, 6,002 Adara. So here's the deal. We're looking at that 60.25 area as resistance. That was kind of the low end yesterday that we defended for a little bit before we gave way and broke down into what we're going to call a support, 59.75 as support. Let's see how we do today. All right, guys, get the watch list. Adara prepares it every morning, and we all use it. And no good morning routine is set without a watch list. It helps you organize your day, lets you know what's moving, and gives you context about why everything's moving in the day. All right, let's look at the first ticker here. SMCI, big day today for SMCI, as they're going to have to file their report according to the NASDAQ Adara. So what we're waiting for here is the end of June 30th. 2024 report and the Q3 ending September 30th. That's got to be in today. Otherwise, they face delisting. What else can you tell us?
I think what's key to remember here is we've not had a report from, I really like that. We haven't had a report from SMCI for quite some time. We were supposed to get their Q2 2025 earnings report back in February. They gave us yet another preliminary report, Sharif. So I've said this, I truly hope that no one loses their money, but we have to be realistic. There is a risk that we might not actually get this report. And really the only reason we were thinking we're going to get this on time is because the company's CEO said they would. Obviously, he's motivated to say that. So I would say be very cautious with SMCI here. That being said, Goldman Sachs actually raised their price target for the stock yesterday from 32 to 36, well below where it's currently trading. And interestingly enough, too, Goldman Sachs actually had their estimates missed by SMCI. So it's really unclear why they chose to raise the target.
All right, guys, we were down at $18 in November, but we're up about 70% year to date. What's the look?
Yeah, I mean, no, SMCI is definitely one on watch today. Yeah, a bit of an upgrade, but yeah, I think everybody's waiting for that 10K filing to potentially come in here today. And $50 could be interesting. Prior day lows I'm watching as well. We did kind of clip some of that in the morning session off the 4 a.m. open and then kind of a consolidation. But since about 6:30, 7 a.m., we've gotten this aggressive bid all the way back up into the mid-50s. So kind of recovering into some of prior days range. But you can see yesterday kind of strong selling coming in for the continuation of selling that had been happening on this name since last week on Wednesday, and you can see a little bit of a supply action there off that 56, and the same thing kind of happening in the pre-market there. Sellers coming in and around 55, 56s, bringing us back down at to 51. So no idea what this one's going to do off of the open, but that prior day low is definitely going to be on watch, just for a simple continuation. Let's see if more of the same is happening on this name until something distinctly different comes in, and I think that could potentially happen with the news of them filing their 10K. But I think the trade might even be just waiting for that 10K potentially to come in, and then taking the trade based off of that and reacting to whatever the ticker does on that. And I think that's a significant part of what I have down for my plan on SMCI today, is to wait for news to come out on SMCI, then react to how the ticker is moving. So that's going to be, again, one of my potential bigger plays on the day, but we'll see how it sets up, Sean. So that's how I'm looking at SMCI today.
All right, I just got you your Tempest shares short, so got you 50,000 shares.
Thank you. Exactly how much I want.
Good.
Might not be able to throw all of it into the book at once, but you know.
Yeah, you might be able to today. All right, so here goes SMCI, man. I mean, it's already littered all over the place here. As you can see, it looks like we are going to be SSR on this name, I guess, as I have an SSRC there. Oh, there we go. Okay.
SMCI.
SMCI, yeah, there it goes, man. Down 4+% right now, just breaking through 50. Here we go. This is happening for us live right now, 49. It's almost like there's news right now on SMCI.
Yeah, it seems like
so there has to be some kind of news here on SMCI, or we just broke below 50 bucks there, and that created that. But it's a pretty epic collapse. I was hearing something in my ear, but it's not about SMCI. But okay, at the end of the day, there it goes right now. This has to be a short. I agree with Adair and Sharif here that, you know, you don't want anyone to lose money on this trade, but it's already had a huge run. So if you are nervous that it doesn't report.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Tempest AI just filed as well. So there we go. Okay, not that big of a deal. 4.8 million or something. Just heard right now for Tempest. So there's a little bit of a filing coming through right there for them. But okay, what was that?
What did they file?
I just heard of filing, so I'll wait to see Benzinga news. I'll tell you once we do see it. I just probably jumped the gun. I just wanted to report it there in case it was going to the downside. But okay, so what I was talking about with SMCI, look at this, man. The trend has not been your friend. You would have loved to get out of the way here in the 60s, right? And I mean, smarter people somehow would have. But at the end of the day, it's a nice move to the downside right now. So let's just figure out where we're going on SMCI. 58.32 now for Tempest, down $11 on Tempest. All right. So here's SMCI. This is that huge move that we're talking about. There's the 200 period moving average again. I don't know if technically we need to worry too much about these levels because, hey, it's news-based stock. So no one's going to buy this just because it's at the 200 period or sell it there. It's just that garbage is up here at the $60 level. So I think if you're going to play short, you're looking to gap fill right now. That gap fill goes into $48. That could be your buy spot if you're looking to let this thing drop down. I think that's the best decision to make. $48 right there, December 5th, $48 there on the gap just last week in the 12th, 13th. So, you know, that created that sort of a move. If you break that $48, then you're down in here to 40. We'll wait to see if we do get that report after hours or in the middle of the day. Who actually knows when this report's going to come through? But at the end of the day, I don't like SMCI here. It's down 4 and a bit percent. The momentum's just picking up right now, it seems like. There's that drop off. We break that 51 from yesterday down into 49. I'd say you wait for 48, but guess what? That 48 is coming probably before the open. So, yeah, I'm going to be short this name. I like the look. We've both paid for them. They're very, very cheap over here. Remember, if you are looking short, make sure that you do have the ability to short. We had to pay for them. It was like 10 cents for 100 shares or something ridiculous like that. It's a very, very cheap take on that. So locate, make sure you do it with your broker if you are looking short like we are. For me, it's VWAP. And I know maybe I didn't say where I'm looking short, but just a little bit of a bump into sort of this area because we just lost it, right? So right into this level, 52, 53 for SMCI. I think right now, initially, we always try to play off the 200 period. This is a level that I like there for SMCI. So right up into here, 52, 53. We'll see if we do get an early bounce on that. I do prefer AMD short, though, and we'll talk about that maybe never, but once the market opens up.
That's awfully weak on the day. Bitcoin here, guys, dropping to 87,000 and change. It dropped to 87,776 overnight. It is now 20% off its all-time highs that it reached on Trump's inauguration day. Analysts are suggesting that there's profit taking and short selling, which is adding to Bitcoin's price decline. There's really no immediate policy catalyst here, so it feels like Bitcoin's kind of tied to the broader macroeconomic trends, which right now is a little weak, Adair.
Yeah, I agree. I've read that as well. And I think one thing I've read too with regards to policy is the fact that we haven't gotten, I guess, the type of executive order with regards to crypto that we were necessarily expecting or wanting for crypto bulls or specifically Bitcoin bulls. Definitely. I think that has put a little bit of a damper on it as well from what I've read. We have had some crypto-related policies to be sure, but nothing related to the Bitcoin reserve. So I guess sentiment waning a little bit. 3-month low there for Bitcoin was reached. Also with regards to Tempest, I did look into this with regards to an offering. I saw one post suggesting that they did have a S1 filed with an offering of up to 4.8 million shares of common stock. I'm not seeing that. Okay, I'm seeing this now in Benzinga, so I can't confirm Tempest apparently filing an offering of up to 4.84 million shares of common stock. To clarify, Tempest offering. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple of minutes ago. Thanks to Dara for clarifying that. Yeah, look, we talked about this before. There's going to be a lot of traders caught. We talk about it around here all the time. You know, traders have just been getting into Bitcoin, and right now, unfortunately, you know, you pay the price to the downside a little bit. I'm not super nervous about Bitcoin down at these levels, but you know, like IBIT's been up here now since election. Like this is the first time that we actually tested some kind of election-related levels. And what I mean by that is, obviously you've had this huge move. This is election down here, November 6th. So, yeah, man, I can't believe I don't remember the last time that I was like sick for a week. It's been crazy, and we've been trying to battle this thing. But anyways, COVID-25, we talked about that. $40 all the way to the upside right there, now basing out, and then whoops, to the downside. So you are going to get some sort of pressures happening here on BTC. I've also noticed today that gold was also pulling back a little bit there. So I don't... I kind of want to let Bitcoin settle down. It did bounce off 87, so I think we can watch that. So gold not getting hit too badly here, but again, it was down a little bit. I think you can buy some dips here in GLD for sure. You know, one is actual gold, one is digital gold. So for me, if we're going to actually look at where Bitcoin is, and I had that chart up and now I've lost it again, I believe. Yeah, I'll have to go. Oh yeah, because that's why. As we talked about your favorite, Dogecoin, right here, the one that may have the least amount of utility, potentially. Yeah. They all do, right? I like your XRP play for sure.
XRP is good, yeah.
Yeah, I really like, so I've been in and out of XRP, and I sold, hey look, man, for me, like I sold XRP way earlier, like way ago, probably $1.50 or so. Didn't even enjoy the move up. So that, to your point of hodling, right? All right, so Bitcoin down here, you know, maybe if there is that whoosh down, you could look at something in and around 70 now. But everybody was so smart when, you know, we were talking about, you know, it could easily get into 80. Well, yeah, easily happened. So right now you're into this level. You got to watch out for that 50-period moving average, which now is up here at 98,000. Joe had mentioned exiting a little bit once he saw some of these shelves break. That seems like that was a good play right there. As many traders are going to be hodling this thing forever. So right now, 82,000 and change might be your next level on the 200-period moving average. So for me, for IBIT, I think we're going to let it go. Let's see what happens here. I still think we do get that dip down into 90 and into 87 again. So IBIT right there, we're close to 90, which I was thinking maybe a break long for 90. So we can definitely have a look over there. But IBIT hasn't been down here. That $50, it's not psychological at all because it's going to track what IBIT does. So I really want to see this go, or what Bitcoin does. I really want to see this get to 87,000. Then whatever this is at, maybe we'll come over and play it. So I do like Ripple here because I think there's a use case scenario there for payments and everything like that. Western Digital and some other companies using Ripple. I do like IBIT down at these levels, and I did buy some Bitcoin overnight. So I had a bid sitting there at 87.7. Not many traders will put their money where their mouth is, but at least this guy will.
Yeah, solid stuff there. I think I'm looking at the weekly on Bitcoin here, Sean, And yeah, a little bit of consolidation. We were talking about that 100K orbit that was happening for the past couple of months here. Yeah, taking a bit of a pullback here, breaking that consolidation low in and around that 90. So yeah, we're visiting some fresh prices that we haven't seen since last November and December here. But yeah, that accelerated push that we got off of this flag break, that 70 thou break is what I'm talking about. That was absolutely solid, and we got some strong volume into that push towards 100. But yeah, coming back in, again, just looking at the chart, there's pretty much air until 73, 74. So let's see if we can get all the way down there. That's a little bit of potential resistance turn support here just off of the chart. But yeah, let's see what Bitcoin has in store for us. But a bit of a pullback. We talk about the 100 being a little crowded, again, a lot of people talking about Bitcoin 100K, and yeah, I think I was looking for a little bit of a pullback as well to start to get involved. But again, like I said earlier, I was like, yeah, maybe not 30K, but it's definitely within range. I think it'll be interesting what we do if we can get back down and enter some of these prior areas here. This consolidation from 70 to 50. But this could be the first leg or the beginning of a leg for a little bit of relief, because Bitcoin has been sustaining this 100K chop, orbit, whatever you want to call it, for a few months here. Yeah, have you seen that? Have you watched it? It's hilarious.
I'm listening to it now.
Yeah.
It's too funny. Come over here, Fabian. What the hell? Why not?
Yeah.
Goodbye. Anyone standing in John Cena's way?
I sent him the prank call. Like,
oh man,
and she just gets more and more peeved at the caller, and it's hilarious. Yeah.
That's great, man. I was.
That's what I get reminded of every time I hear.
Oh man. It's so funny because the guy's voice is like, you can get wrestling right now for SummerSlam. And she's like, there's no way in hell I'm ever buying any more WWE stuff, but there's John Cena. I'm really excited for it now.
Yes.
I'm going to send that to my kid. He's going to be... Sean has so much COVID right now. You have no idea the COVID.
Oh, boy.
Hey, I've been saying here for 3 straight years, we need air filters here, so... is what it is. I should just get it my damn self. People don't seem to be listening. All right, back to the desk.
Guys, tough look for Tesla Day. We got some of their numbers. Let's talk a little bit about it here, how they're doing. So, Tesla sold about 42,000 cars in the U.S. in January. That is down 13% year over year. It gets worse out in Europe, guys. European sales down 45% year over year, despite the fact that battery electric vehicles in Europe are rising 37% year over year. In addition, Chinese sales for Tesla dropped 15% year over year, in addition to their entire market there for battery electric vehicles growing as well, Adara. So a bit of a tougher look here for Tesla. What's the look?
It's a rough look here for Tesla, specifically, I guess, in Europe here with that decline, especially given, as Sharif mentioned, the fact that overall market share for battery EV in Europe is improving. So Tesla's moving a little bit differently here from the rest of these names. But I did see apparently as well, there's been, I guess, a notification that they are preparing this China FSD. So full self-driving China certainly would be huge. Of course, they have to do some mapping and other preparations for that. But that will be a huge step for Tesla. We know as well from yesterday, they're looking to do some hiring in that cyber cap space as well, 6 positions. So it looks like they are extending in other areas, even if there's a bit of a contraction when it comes to their European registrations.
All right, Obi, what's the mean reversion trade here?
I think, to be honest, we're already doing a bigger picture mean reversion. Again, you looking at the weekly, again, Tesla very strong into that 500 push, couldn't even get to 500, and a bit of a break of trend. So bigger picture, Sharif, on the weekly and the monthly, we've already started to revert all the way from those 450s down to 330s. How much further can we go? Do we get 100% reversion for this leg that we've been having down all the way into the 200s, maybe even 250 here? But yeah, well, I'm gonna keep an eye on this one for sure today. Going back down to the 15-minute chart, if we're gonna continue to kind of sell off on this news. Yesterday we had that FSD news. Most people thought it was good news, but we sold off on that good news right off of the open and made a bit of a double bottom with that intraday low and the after hours low in and around that 325 level. So 325. I'm going to throw up an alert right there at that 325 level, and let's see if Tesla can get down there. If we get down there, maybe looking for a little bit of continuation. Prior low sitting at 320.07 from February 12th here on Tesla. But yeah, a little bit of a sell-off. We kind of talked about that 350 being kind of an over-under for myself. and we've been trading under it. Yesterday, kind of really showing that selling is definitely there underneath that 350. I'm going to be looking for that continuation if we can get back below that 325 prior day low, and looking for maybe sellers to step back in. But 325 to 320 could be interesting, as that is also a prior low. But yeah, I'll stay patient. Let's see if Tesla shows us any opportunities. I think it definitely has more than enough capability of showing us some decent opportunities on the day. So yeah, Tesla's on watch. EU numbers, yeah, sure, but I think bigger picture, it is reverting on the weekly. So thank you, Sharif.
All right, guys, HIMS up next year, a bit of a tougher look for them. So they beat, guys, on the top and bottom line, revenue of $481 million, beat the $470 expected. Likewise, with earnings per share coming in at 11 cents versus the 10 expected. But investors were very focused on the weak gross margins rather than the strong earnings. Gross margins came in at 77% below the 78.5% expected over here at Dara, which is interesting because, you know, their business is going to fundamentally change now that they may not be allowed to compound these GLP-1s anymore now that they're not on back order anymore from the manufacturer.
Now let's talk about this. They were allowed to be selling these GLP-1s, to my understanding, basically because there was a shortage declared by the FDA. As of 4 days ago, last Friday, the FDA basically said that shortage is now over, which will obviously lead to some issues with HIMS. We know they had that drop on Friday. They had the acquisition, but likely, partially at least, caused by the fact that the shortage is over. So what does that mean? Well, the company did guide during the report. They may have to stop selling these compounded drugs entirely. A lot of why they popped off was because they were able to provide these GLP-1s. So there is a chance that Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk, these type of names actually get a benefit in terms of their sales now that this shortage is over, whereas names like HIMS might suffer. With regards to gross margin as well, not only did they miss, Sharif, they actually had a decline in gross margin on a year-over-year basis. So last year was 83%.
Wow. This
year, as Sharif mentioned, 77%. Not great.
Thank you, Adara. I think that's definitely a good look. A strong reason why they had this strong move here. Again, I'm looking at the weekly, all the way from a low of $2.72. All the way up to $70.98 is the high on HIMS. Bit of a pullback, but yeah, some strong selling on earnings as well. And we've been selling off before that. I think, yeah, with them not necessarily being the only ones making the GLPs anymore, a bit of reason to you're giving back the reason why you're up here, right? So it's like, all right, the whole reason why we might have caught this bid was because they might have been the sole proprietors for some of these drugs. And then now that's not the case, the ticker is giving up some of that price action there. Absolutely beautiful reversion. Shout out to Sharif once again on this ticker on a bigger time frame, back through 60, back through 50s, and continuing to sell off on that earnings report. Now earnings, we got a double beat on earnings, so not too bad there. But again, bigger picture, back below 40 as of right now. In the pre-market, this ticker is SSR, so going to be watching this one going off into the open. Again, very, I guess, potentially crowded name over the past few weeks. Let's see, like Sean said before, if buyers hit the bid.
Yeah, look, I was looking it up here. So we've posted this up as well, obviously, for our sticky note today. And we did have HIMS on here. And I just wrote down, you know, the 50-period moving average on the daily is down here at 35 to 36. I think that's the bottom. We have to wait for volume to signify that bottom. So if you are interested in it, it is on the sticky note there today. A couple of other ideas, including AMD and Palantir and a few others. So go over there at Trader TV, Sean, to find it. But yeah, I'm saying that SSR is not really going to play that big of a factor today because you're already down 23%. Now, I don't know, you know, well, here on a second, I will tell you actually momentarily what the expected move was on HIMS. 21% was the expected move. So you're right in the pocket of a move. There's that 50-period moving average. I can't open up a chart and show you, like, I believe this is what's going to happen. We talk about fading back into VWAP. That's sitting there at $40. That's not significant enough for me. I'm not, like, if anything, I would play the 200 period. But in such a volatile name that's had such a huge move up and then such a stark reversal, like, talk about V-shape the other way around, like, boom, straight up, straight down, like, like honestly, elevator up and down on this name. I'm not going to use any of these markers as anything to be indicated until we're actually open. So for me down here, breaking back down below $40 is somewhat interesting, but not interesting enough. I'm here at $35, $36. Wait to see if we do get that bottom. I'm sitting there right now. We could get a flush. We're a minute away from these NASDAQ imbalances. What's up, Sharif? Hope you're doing good over there. There it is right there. It's a sell imbalance right now on HIMS of over 1 million shares. So that's 20% of the volume so far on the imbalance. We could get a capitulated, which is what we're looking for, bottom off the open. I'm sitting here at $36.
In focus, overnight we got word that the Trump administration plans to tighten the semiconductor exports to China. Already started under the Biden administration's U.S. officials recently met actually with Dutch and Japanese counterparts to discuss limiting engineers from Tokyo Electron as well as ASML, a company I'm invested in, from servicing the semiconductors equipment in China. Really doubling down here, Dara. What's the look?
Well, we know that this is already something that was started by the Biden administration. Basically, they do want, of course, to cut back on this exposure to China. But apparently the aim of talking to these Dutch and Japanese counterparts is because they want to be getting their allies on board with the U.S. with regards to imposing similar restrictions on China that we've seen with these American semiconductor companies, right? And apparently they're also looking to explore stricter controls on global AI chip exports. NVIDIA, of course, could be impacted here. They actually have earnings coming through. Oh my gosh, I have a different color of my blazer.
What is happening?
We have earnings coming through for NVIDIA. That's going to be on Wednesday after the close, tomorrow after the close. So we're going to have to see how NVIDIA is affected. But this catalyst could certainly be on watch for them longer term, specifically if they're going to target AI chips.
I just want to mention that they're looking at restricting the quantity and the type specifically of NVIDIA chips. So some of the China-friendly chips or some of the chips that were designed specifically for China now, Sean, could be only exported under license.
Stock market, now you're going to find out the complete opposite. All right, so Palantir right here with a sell. Downside right now, it just got clocked. So we just went from 92 down to 90. Look, I think there's going to be dip buy opportunities. I don't mean the current president's bad for the stock market. It's just right now we're shaking the tree a little bit and getting rattled. So I think that there's still some rattling to happen right now as tariffs and whatnot start to get imposed. Apparently March 4th is the deadline here for Canada and Mexico to come up with something. Otherwise, those are getting slapped. We switched over to T, by the way. All right, yeah, nice downside move. Oh, there's my big bear as well. That's scary to the downside. But all right, NVIDIA, I'm off NVIDIA now. So we'll watch it. If there's a dramatic move, fine. But my play of the day, and the reason why we're off NVIDIA is we just have a couple of days left. We have today, then tomorrow, then Thursday. So we'll wait to see. Oh, my wife today goes something about it being Wednesday. I was like, wait a second. No, because that's garbage day. I didn't put out the garbage. So if I didn't put out the garbage, then we're in trouble. But right there, or actually it's recycling. So you know here you have, it's every other week, recycling and garbage in the city of Toronto. So if you miss it 1 week, you're screwed because then you don't have to wait again, right? All right, so here's 110. I like this play here on AMD. You know, we wrote that down, obviously, in the pre-market. You saw me sitting here making notes. You know, we were at 108, 108.50, almost approaching 109. So now you're down $1 from that area. Can we get back up here? Yes. But if we actually want to short in this market, it may happen pronto, right away. So, I mean, right here, it's looking pretty interesting for me, even at 108 right now. But it's going to be a little jumpy. We had yesterday, like we had $1.50 or something like that, or maybe even $4 or something right away in the money on Palantir. Then it whooshed right down. Like in the first 1 minute, it was up and down. So I'm sitting here on AMD at 109.50, waiting for that short. I'm waiting for Apple bids. I'm waiting for HIM bids, and I'm waiting for Palantir shorts. So right now, I'm just following the sticky note, following the master plan, and we'll figure it out. Yeah, need more room air filters. How about one? All right, what's up, Obi?
You know, when it comes to chips, Sean, I'm just watching SMH today. In terms of trade ideas relative to chips, I do have NVIDIA up here on watch, so we can kind of look through that. I like that 129 level a little bit here, but yeah, some strong selling here since last Friday. Again, along with the rest of the market, we got that continuation coming in on Monday. Let's see if there's more selling here today on Tuesday, kind of coming back into some of this range low here on SMH. But yeah, NVIDIA with a bit of a downtrend here. I was looking at that 129 level from prior right here, this 129. We're kind of we have that consolidation before we pushed up to 140s in and around here, and some prior levels as that served as a bit of resistance as well in and around that 129 level. So we've already kind of visited that area in the pre-market, 127.45 lows here on NVIDIA.
Oh yeah, what's up with
but yeah, a little bit of a pullback. Trading at that $30 level. You can see after hours kind of a double bottom here at that 130. But yeah, I'm looking for a potential continuation. If we continue to sell off on chips, I think that that 129 over under might be a way to perceive that. Okay. And then obviously execution rules in and around continuation trades.
Well, we were almost ready to go. Countdown is now on with only 10 seconds left. So good call there. I did update the clock, so I think we're fine now. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Thank you, Miss Adara. They're ringing the bell. So thank you, Sharif and Adara, for that opening run right now for us. So, all right, AMD's doing its thing right now, 107 and change. Like we said, we'd wait to see where the volume comes in right now. Looks like we are trying to get to the downside a little bit here on advanced micro devices. No surprise here as the king of the castle, and this is not the dirty rascal today. It is Apple. Look at that gap up. So again, the number one idea we had was an Apple log, but not this kind of a gap up. I mean, this went from we wrote down 246. I mean, that's a great long. It's $3 in the money, but at the end of the day, you got to take that in the pre-market, which we did not. Right back into yesterday's high. Apple, as if there's nothing happening in this world, just goes right upside and now is kicking you-know-what in the face. This market with Apple starting to go. I think we may just take a 250 break, but I'm getting too excited with that play, but it might be the play, man. Apple right now ripping to the north side. SMCI, you'll see both of our fills come in when they do, but right now I'm not on anything yet. SMCI 49 just wicked down to 48 on a nice volume spike there as well, so we can wait to see what's going on. But Apple been strong all month. It's a stock that I like. It's why we picked it for the long, but right now we got to play pullbacks for Apple because market be heading lower.
Yeah, market's definitely heading lower. Again, like I said, Palantir was one of my top watches here. It's still kind of holding that 90 half level as of right now. Also watching HIMS and hers, still kind of trading within the open. TM still trading in and around the opening price here, 58 halves. So again, gonna be a little bit patient here until some of that comes in. I don't know why my chart is not showing up here. Okay, there it is. So that's TEM right here. So there's a pullback to 60. But yeah, I'll be patient to see if things set up. Let us know in the chat where you guys are watching, and I think we have Adara with some news.
Sure, why not?
Beware here of Li Auto. This one already gapped up pretty significantly. Sharif and I mentioned this earlier, but this one pretty strong here after announcing its first ever fully electric EV will be launched. So Li Auto with its first fully electric vehicle. Keep an eye on this one. All these Chinese ADRs really are on watch today as well. Back to you.
All right, we're going to, I'm going to try to get involved with, I mean, Apple's coming back down a little bit. That could give us an opportunity to get long for sure. I'm going to wait for the price that we want, which is here it comes right back in now, trying to break a little bit lower for Apple. The trade idea that I had on that I just put an aggressive offer, but then it ran away a little bit, 107.70 right now. I'm waiting to see if we can get a little bit of a pop up here in AMD. I'll take a starter position right now just to not really miss it. So we'll take it here at 50s, okay, 47s right now. So whatever, that's the price that we just got. We're waiting at 7. There it is. Now we're filled up at 70. Watch out. I mean, this could get going. Apple, that dip buy in Apple might have been the play. That is for sure, man. Apple just came back in and then just ripped again right off the 200 period. That was 248. But we're going to go short right now. AMD against 108. If we break 108, then we're going to get out and then wait for that 110 area that we really like. So 108 and change right now, Obi, for AMD is what I'm looking at as a potential out area. So we're going to put 108. Let's go a little bit higher, 108.16. It's a little early. You know, we could get wicked around right here. But here it goes. Nice little trade so far. 20 cents in the money here. Just a quick one on AMD. We'll hold, right? See if we can get a lot lower. This is what we're looking for. One position so far short AMD. We'll ring the register for 20 cents at 45. There it is right now. Yes, sir. We'll go 1 for 1 to start the day, but we got more coming.
Yeah, this TEM is absolutely wild here, Sean. Kind of teleporting 50 pennies at a time here with a spread of 20 to 30 pennies sometimes, all the way almost up to 64s now. I'm just kind of watching this tape, kind of, well, maybe slightly entranced. I'm just like, wow, this is absolutely wild. I'm waiting for it to calm down here. Again, it is a name on SSR, and that bid off of the open, very, very aggressive, back above that $60, 64s. Is the high right now. 63.98 is the high right now. So a bit of a pullback, but yeah, that kind of spread absolutely crazy. I'm going to wait for this one to, I'm going to wait for the tempest to calm down here as it kind of goes crazy. But SMCI in and around 50. So 50 is trading on SMCI, 91's on Palantir. So no real selling happening there just yet.
No.
So not what I was looking for. But again, like I said, the sellers can come in anytime during the day. Just got to be ready. If they are there, I do want to participate. But other than that, not really watching anything just yet. Going to be patient for opportunities to set up. TEM is holding below some of its opening range lows as of right now. So going to continue to watch that one. Consolidation highs off of the earning reaction drop. The bid could only get back up to 65 halves. Let's see if that serves as a little bit more of a resistance level going forward into the day. Again, it is an SSR name, so if the bid is going to be aggressive, you got to watch out for that one there. But if people are hitting the bid as well, like Sean mentioned before, we know which participants are able to do that. Trading back below 50 now, 49.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, it looks like AMD is trying to get a little bit of a bid right now. We're short at 85s again. Not again, same trade, we just averaged it in. So again, if this breaks a little bit higher through that, it'll be a 30-cent hit. We talked about we're getting out at 16. So whatever that works out to be, 40, 35, 40-cent hit right there with slippage. So let's see if this will pull back. I'm fine shorting it at the 200 period moving average. Look, I'd like for the market to rally here, but right now we are underneath. And if you're looking at sort of the market, it hasn't done much, so I'm not expecting too many of these levels to maybe even hold. It's just got it. We're in like price discovery phase right now. Where does the market actually want to go? It's been flat here off the open. So let's just check out what HIMS is doing. I was looking at it. It was.
I think it's not even open. It's even open. Yeah.
Yeah, it's open. Yeah.
Oh, it's open.
Well, no.
No, I don't think so. The tap is moving.
Yeah, unless we don't see. Yeah, the tap is moving. I don't see any ends here yet, so HIMS is not open. All right. Oh boy, Obi. Here we go. Nice move to the downside right now for AMD, man. We got a decent position on Obi right now for advanced micro devices. So if this can fall, great. But we are slowly getting some more and more out here on AMD. Look at the market. The market right now just taking off up to 21 and change. Looks like we did miss out on Apple as there that goes right now as well. Another bounce off of VWAP for AAPL. There it goes. What's up, Adara?
I don't know what's going on there.
Adara?
But, okay.
Keep an eye here on Redfin and Zillow. D.A. Davidson, apparently I'm seeing this note circulated on X. Basically, D.A. Davidson saying that there's a potential acquisition of Redfin by Zillow, which would apparently allow Zillow to consolidate its share of user engagement. It is worth noting, though, this is completely speculation from D.A. Davidson, but the note being circulated here, D.A. Davidson saying Redfin could be acquired by Zillow. Redfin getting a bit of a pop here off the open. Back to you.
Me and Obi and I are discussing here HIMS because I don't see it. There it is, 9:37, so still not open yet as they'll figure this out for HIMS. But there it is, it's open. So there's the big volume spike right there. I don't know what's trying to do right now. It looks like we're trying to hold this $41 area. This could be a monster play for HIMS if it does hold that. So get ready to rock and roll now, HIMS. There it goes. We just indicated holding 41, man. Wow, nice move upside there. You take 500 shares right there. Your day is now done on HIMS. So we'll see. It just held 41 there off the open. Let's see if that's pretty interesting. The only position I'm in right here, though, is AMD. I don't know if anything's tickling your fancy over there, but for me right now, we just sit right here. Apple's not doing too much. Checking on the big dog, NVIDIA. We will check some more shares out. Unfortunately, You guys know that I sit here and trade. You know, I got to monitor the positions. There's NVIDIA right there, 130, trying to bounce off of VWAP. Not super concerned with that play because we are into AMD, which isn't necessarily doing that well. Okay, here comes SMCI. We said would 48 hold, Obi. Looks like it's right there right now. I'm taking out a little bit more here on AMD. This is a big trade for me. So we'll wait to see. Hopefully there it is, falls again a little bit. My next bid is a little bit lower into 107.20. That low of the day, though, 107.40. Let's put a bid out there in case we do a little bit of a whoosh down. We definitely want to make sure to capture some more profits on this one. As AMD not really moving, we've done well on it, but not well enough. Nothing going on. Tesla's under 320. Did someone? I just saw that. Go ahead. Yes, it is. Wow. Tesla getting cranked right now to the downside, man. I don't know. Nice volume there on Tesla. Was actually not expecting this kind of a move. There goes AMD. We're almost, so there it goes, man. Good thing we were able to get some out. We only got out of like 20%. So not in trouble, but this looks like this will be a loser here for the first trade of the day on AMD. A little bit of a break here through 108.15, and there it goes, and we are out. So we'll slap a fail on it. We sat there, we talked about it. It just didn't work. I'm willing to take that shot 10 times out of 10, but just didn't work out right there. Maybe Apple long, man. I don't know.
Yeah, Sean, I'm still waiting. Like nothing's really doing what I'm looking for here. So again, patience. I think patience is definitely a virtue in situations like this. 65 on TEM. So definitely, it's getting. Maybe it's that's the Pelosi bid. Who knows? We know that she's definitely involved in this ticker here. But yeah, SSR on the day and over 5 points off of the opening price here. Opening price being 58.49 on TEM, trading at 65s currently. Oh boy! And then SMCI catching a little bit of a bid back into 50. Let's see if 50 still holds on the ticker there. So I'm being patient. I'm waiting for maybe places like VWAP, some pre-market levels, maybe some supports and resistances. Let me know in the chat what you guys are trading, what you guys are involved with, and yeah, I'll be more than willing to look at some of those tickets. But first, let's see what Adara has to say.
Thank you so much to everyone here for being with us. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. And also, just keep an eye on PayPal all day. I say that because they actually are having their Investors Day for 2025 today. They released their guidance. Earlier today, they maintained their guidance for 2025. But as you can tell here, initially well received their forward guidance for 2027. PYPL could certainly be in watch. And if I see any headlines as the event continues, I'll let you know. Back to you.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Over 11,000 of you watching, so make sure you do hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit all of that, man. You're rocking with the best of us right now. And it's a special day because we have Obi here. Hopefully Neil will get healthy, but hey, man, never fear. We have Obi, myself, Sharif, Adara, and Joe. So we're really excited for today. All right, I'm just going to give AMD the benefit of the doubt there. It was a little bit of that upside action. I'm going to give it to this pre-market high of 108.60. Remember, we had written down here 110. So these are just like, let's get into position. Let's see if if it works out from these levels. If not, then let's bail and work on those highs. And if it comes back up, like we don't have to average into this. We don't really need to do anything right now. Let's just let it settle down. If it does, fine. If it doesn't, we're out at the pre-market high. We punched out there. Oh, I must have just been, okay, that's not it. We were just sitting there at the pre-market high, it just came up and filled us. But at the end of the day, we're gonna let this go until 108.60. So this is a decent sized position, but not a huge one because it's not exactly per our playbook. And with the market underneath VWAP and seemingly wanting to go lower, you can clearly see here some of these chip names, Obi, do not. So patience is a virtue that is needed for sure when trading some of these names. I'm just really surprised at how excited AMD is getting right now, considering NVIDIA is doing nothing. So it looks like we picked the wrong one. There it goes, it's gonna break. So we picked the wrong one today. Ooh, almost breaks, it's going to. And if it does go through that high, then we are out. 108.60s, 61s or so is that high. So nice little pullback down. We almost got stopped out there. Let's take advantage a little bit of this dip and take something out here because that was close to a stop out. And we don't want to count our chickens too much before they hatch here, but at the end of the day, that was close. So we'll take something out here for a roughly flat as we're short at 30s. But yeah, that was close. That was real close, man. So yeah, not happy with AMD. So let's start to get out of it. I thought NVIDIA would be ripping the fact that AMD's doing this, but it's not. So that is very, very much a pause for concern for your boy over here. So let's start to get out. Hey, look, man, we're still down on it, but virtually flat. So let's give it some room here. We have our stop. We can wait for that. The trade of the day was HIMS, because when it opened up, we saw that resist that 40. Remember, it was just like 44, like this was 41s. It was just going through volume, and then it popped up to 43. I think that was the ride that we all maybe should have been a part of there, and we weren't. So here comes HIMS again. Watch out for that 41 break. Come on, AMD, man. We're almost green on the name. We just got bid out there, some at 15s. So we're going to try to let it settle, but so far, so good. Come on, bring it on down, man. 15-cent winner right now for AMD. We'll start to bid it out. Remember, we're on a prop floor right now. Whoopsies. We're on a prop floor right now, so we don't pay the execution fees like maybe many of you do right now. So able to get in and out. Okay, there you go. So you're in that HIMS trade. So
yeah, I'm in the HIMS.
Good call right there. Just quickly before I go back to that so we can discuss it. 89 right now. Palantir making new lows as the day goes. So that's 89 fill coming through. Wow. Again, fading off VWAP, right? Play it as if it's like an earnings play. There's VWAP. It held it at 91. Oh, nice downside pressure now coming through. Yes. There goes Palantir. Oh, boy.
Oh, Wayne, you in there? He's saying go.
Go. So go over to HIMS because it looks like you got it.
Yeah, no, HIMS coming right back in below that VWAP. So I was looking for VWAP to come in. We got a reversion to VWAP. 42 false break there. Maybe not 40, 43 false break. Is the one there on HIMS, but a little bit of VWAP hold here. What happened for a few minutes? So I was watching that, covered a piece there. Let's see if we can get down to 40s. Pre-market lows at 38.80s. And again, we kind of talk about maybe the name being a little saturated there. The only name. And we're coming right back into 40 halves. So, oh boy, Sean. Are we going to get to opening range low?
Nice trade.
39.88 is the opening price here. 50 pennies away from that on HIMS. Will it be hers? I don't know. Let's see what Adara has to say.
Yeah, go.
This has nothing to do with HIMS or hers, but we have WAFU, WAFU, this name of the company, WAFU Education. Does look like they're halted right now about this $5.31 area. They actually have a catalyst, and it's DeepSeek related. So last night they announced they're going to be having this DeepSeek integration, sending it to the upside. They have a pretty small float as well. We're talking about 1.3 million shares. You can read more about this one on our morning watch list. But WAFU, very strong small cap contender this morning. Back to you.
Thank you very much.
Great trade, Obi. The market was tanking, and I'm short the only name that's going up. So I don't really know what to expect here from AMD. So we just got some more outs again in the teens. This is like I'm only holding 2/3 of this position now, that reloaded position. And good thing we did take some profit because this name is starting to rip. And I don't want to go long it, but there it goes. So again, we'll slap a fail, but Spidey senses were up on that one. So yeah, wow. Okay, AMD, like. You might have just stopped us out at the high, but I'm actually okay with that. I'm not going to get back in. We definitely know, you can sense when you're, battling a stock, and that's definitely what we were doing right there. Apple, I mean, I'm having a problem going. We might just have to go into the queues because some of these names right now, it's like I like that Apple long, but I don't like the market long. I liked AMD short, but for some reason it was saying no to me. And then there it goes again. We get wicked out at the top of the day, high of the day right there, got taken out. I mean, can only absorb that so much, and then it just drops again on us. So, nah, man, this is that AMD for me right now is a fugazi. So we're gonna have to wait for that. $80 on the futures here for the TQ. Sorry, looking at the wrong chart in front of you guys. But that was the VWAP right here, 80 for the TQ. So this is again the triple levered NASDAQ name. Oh, unbelievable. AMD is now 40 cents lower than where we just had it. And so that sucks because that's now into the money for us, obviously. Yeah, the market's breaking lower here. Oh no, look at AMD, what happens to me here, Obi?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Market's definitely coming in.
You're playing baby shares, it's fine, but when you're not, it hurts, right? So there goes the downside. Great trade on HIMS. What's your position looking like now?
Yeah, not too bad. We're consolidating in and around VWAP still, so I covered a decent, I'd say about 70% the position here, but I want to look for the continuation, to be honest. So let's see how VWAP consolidates. If VWAP is going to hold as a little bit of a bid, I do want to respect that. I kind of yesterday's journal, I'm just like, I should be a little bit more nimble. There's a lot of opportunities in this market, and if I'm trying to fight something, like it doesn't really make sense to kind of like continue. Like yesterday, for example, if you guys were here in the later session, what's going on? I kind of fought with Nike a little longer than I really should have, and I was like, all right, well, opportunity cost as well, right? So there's definitely a lot of opportunity cost trying to make something work, especially in this market, because it's just like good trades are just like buses. You know, you miss one, next 15, there's another one. I think. Who said that? Someone said that. I think
you did, but
Rick
that's
Ross?
A great one, man. That's like Rick Ross. Yeah, I think so.
Not about trades, though. He was talking about something else, I think.
Yeah, no. I mean, look at this, man. We just get right back into it, man. We talked about we wanted to try some Apple there. So it came back into that 247, so we took it in. Oh boy. I'm a little bit pissed off, obviously, because this is now a $1 difference, and we would have made our day already right there at 948, but instead we got stopped out there. Hit was minimal compared to what it could have been, but look at that, man. We top ticked the very top right there for AMD, so boo earns on that one. But look what's happening for Apple. Oh boy, Obi.
Oh boy.
Again, man, it's going to be hard to get the smile off this face again here because we were able to do it. So there it goes, man. Apple, yes, sir. Covering up our loss right now on AMD is Apple. So nice move to the long side there. We're happy for it. Really upset about that AMD trade. We did it yesterday, right? We did it on Tesla. We were sitting here banging our head against the table. Why did we sell? We sold it at 332 yesterday and then covered it, and then boom, it just ripped up. But right now, we've got Apple, man, and I'm glad to be here with Obi, man. Obi's putting on some positions, putting on some shares. This man is another real one. So thanks to Obi for covering. Nice move there on HIMS. So yeah, man, we're just going around making those trades. I want to thank everybody for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Come on, Apple. You got to break through that 248, man. That's where VWAP's sitting right now. We're looking for higher highs at this point. If we can get out that 249.50, that would be absolutely fantastic. But again, our stop is right here breaking through 247. So we, 20 cents, let's call it 30 cents worth of risk with slippage. We just took that, right? So we got to make sure that we're doing more than that to make the trade worth it on a risk to reward situation. So that's what's happening right there. Tesla's in free fall zone right now as well. Tesla down 5%. This was one of Joe's picks, one of Brendo's picks for the year. These stocks are getting absolutely destroyed, along with Bitcoin right now down to 87.5. So we said we'd have a look at IBIT to see what's going on with that once we got to 87. So we're getting pretty close, man, maybe 49 and change. But right now, crypto getting smoked, market getting hit. Yeah. You know what? If you're not emotional and you're not like that as a trader, then I feel like you're probably not really doing your job, or maybe you're not trading with as many shares because, Obi, just like how you got excited there when it was going down, just like you have, Wayne, I don't care if you're a calm person or not, but when you're making or losing money, you're supposed to feel emotion. And no, I'm being serious.
The ideal state, I don't know about that. I want to stay zen. I want to be like, I am.
No. Okay, that's fine for you, but I would say that. But
yes, you get emotional. It's definitely, it's human.
It's human nature. You want to feel it. Like when you have a big winner, does that not get you excited when you have a big winner?
It does get me excited, but I noticed.
You don't want to overtake you.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
Wayne and I were literally talking, wow, here comes the 40. Why don't I have enough? But that's
Stop getting excited.
Exactly, right? So it's like, I know. Wayne's like, the classic Obi thing to say is, why don't I have enough? Oh boy, there goes smashed through the 40s.
There it goes, it's gone.
Look at that even dollar. Oh boy, do those even work anymore? It seems like they work here as we're getting 20 pennies instantly through the 40, 30 pennies. Oh boy. Here we go, about 2 points off of that 42. What a beautiful failure to follow through of that 43, back through 42s. We're getting some 40 action here on HIMS. Let's see if I'm getting in at, 38.80, so about a point away from there on HIMS. So yeah, some selling pressure definitely there. Don't forget, this is an SSR, and the bid is getting hit aggressively. Oh my God, 39. We're going to
great trade.
But, yeah. So the thing is, Sean, is just like, I do feel emotion, but what I realize is like my decision making, goes off on a wow. The market's tanking as well. Absolutely
I mean, AMD is down $2 from where I got out. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
But so decision making is obviously going to be affected buy. Wow, instantly took me on the bid there.
Nice.
But decision making is definitely going to be affected. I want to be able to manage that as well.
Right, of course. Yeah.
Not only am I a risk manager, not only am I an account manager, I also want to be an emotional manager as well. And I want to try to make the best decisions. And when emotions are fluctuating, when they're too high or too low, I find myself not making the best decisions. I know I'm not at 100%. So Wayne and I literally talked about this yesterday, about having those emotional fluctuations. And yeah, you're going to have them as being human, but being a day trader, you got to do as best not to be like too one way or the other, but like kind of balance that out. And I think, yes, Sunray, this is the way. This is the way.
Yeah, this is the way.
Here's the pre-market lows, 38.80s. Boom.
Yeah, great, absolutely great trade on that one. I am still flustered by this because, wow, that AMD trade right there. And look, both of us only have I have 2 trades on today, Apple and AMD. Great trade there over there for HIMS. You happy with the share size you took up there?
No.
Right. Okay. So I was just wondering what would have maybe triggered you to get a little bit more. But okay, well, we could talk about that because the market's moving right now. It's
I mean, honestly, I was I was risking 10 pennies.
Yeah.
I was risking 10 pennies with a 20 penny cross.
Hey man,
so it's like, if I'm risking 10 pennies,
dude,
I should, we talk about risk units, I should be putting at least 20-30% of my daily risk limit on a trade like this. It's earnings day one, and it's doing what I'm looking for. And yeah, a little bit of a miss there, especially if I'm risking 10 pennies. And Wayne, you're right. Why can't I just be happy? I don't know, man. I'm just, I'm content. I'm content. But you know, can always be doing a little bit better here. Trading below pre-market lows.
Wayne, stop showing so much emotion back there, Wayne. Stop with all the emotion. It's not worth it. Wow. But no,
beautiful.
great trade on that one. Let's go over to
run. Hands off the wheel. Look, Ma.
Yeah, look, Ma, right there. So we had a big position on with AMD. We lost it at the top. So we you know, again, stopped out by a penny, or else yeah, that's about $1.30, $1.40 on that one as well. Stopped out by 1 penny on that one. So I'm still excited for Apple. I mean, this is going to be obviously a decent spot here to try to get the long. The only thing is, when I'm looking at the futures right now, we're looking. We talked about this yesterday. What was going to happen if we dropped 522, and there it goes, right back in 514, 510, 511s right there. Nice trading to go short. So those of you guys that were sort of looking at that from yesterday, great job there for us. So yeah, man, really proud of what we've been able to accomplish here, obviously on the show and with some of these trades. So come on, Apple. This is going to be, honestly, this hopefully will be a decent spot. I'm going to get some more out here in the 60s. I'm still waiting for 248. Hopefully that can come through, and then at that point we'll let it fly. But it looks like we're having a little bit of problem. So we're at 247.65 right now to get out of a little bit more. You were just in HIMS. It was HIMS, right? Yeah, so right now we'll go back over to Tempest and see what's going on there. Another name that bounced nicely off of that SSR play. Oh, wait a minute. So HIMS, we wanted to bid the lows, and we had written down 35.36. Looks like we get as low as 38 right there. Not doing too much. Starbucks always gets hit for me here on the radar, but yeah, it's not really doing too much. Okay, Obi.
Money.
Oh, there's a bit of reversion happening.
There it is, man. All right, it's Apple right back in, man. So, yeah, really happy with this trade, as we just got some out at sub 248 right there. So let's see if it, higher than 248, just broke through, but then came right back in again. So put out a little bit more here at 89s. We get filled. Now let's see if it rips up. We do have 248, 249 coming through in target here as well. So hopefully that will come upside. But again, you can't have the winners unless you let them breathe. So let's let this one breathe just a little bit. And you guys can clearly see, man, glad to be beside Obi now. Completely different style than Mr. Roberts' neighborhood. So we're glad to have him in the building again right there. Consumer confidence, thank you, Day Trader Cut. That's coming out at 10 a.m. as well. So every morning I will tweet out all of the numbers that are coming out right here. So here we go. CB, consumer confidence right now, expected 102.5 right now, as well as the Fed Richmond composite coming through as well. Oh boy, Obi, Apple. It's too bad about that stop out on AMD. We'll be green on the day, but we could have been monstrous on the day. I still hope we will be with Apple right now. Oh boy, nice move up into 248 and change. It is going to be the cash cow right now for us on the day is actually going to be Apple. Great trade by HIMS. Let's see if Apple can continue this move higher. What's up, Adara?
We are going to be getting consumer board consumer confidence. It's the less closely watched of the consumer confidence numbers in about 2 minutes. But just to let you guys know here, we do have another small cap to be aware of, Adapt Health. AHCO small cap earnings name with a 9% short float. Again, consumer confidence in 1 minute. I'll be giving you that number. Back to the guys in the meantime.
Like we were just talking about the HIMS trade there. Thank you, Adara. Yeah, no, bit of a quick action there at that 43 mark. If you're looking at it on a lower time frame, we can take a look at this. We're catching
a little nervous about consumer confidence.
Back into VWAP here. Yeah, consumer sentiment coming out in a couple minutes here.
No,
so,
consumer confidence.
Consumer confidence, economic number, right?
Economic
so it's
number,
it's like get ready for a shake and bake on the markets potentially, basically. So VWAP coming in as a bit of resistance once again here. So maybe an opportunity to reload. But I've covered, I guess, over 95% of my position as of right now. Majority of it being at the VWAP, but oh boy, I definitely have to leave on a lot, some more for the continuation trade. But you know what? You know what I did well? I have held on to a little bit of a piece for the continuation, for putting in those reps. Let's see if 40 acts as a bit of an over-under. Let's see if VWAP acts as a bit of an over-under. But this false break of 43 is what I was talking about. Not much time to execute here on the false break. And yeah, and even when that false break happens, you don't know that it's going to come back into VWAP, but definitely a little bit of a tape turn there. Definitely maybe a potential reason to sell. Look at that, bit of a clip, a false break, if you would call it, of the pre-market highs. Pre-market highs exactly at 43.15, and guess what? Day high, 43.21. So false break on multiple levels, not only the even dollar there on 43s, but I got in a little bit later, right? I got in much later. I got in on the break back below 42s, and then we got the consolidation at VWAP and continuation to the downside. We're getting some more continuation back down to 39s as of right now. The market tailwind is definitely in our favor as the consumer sentiment is coming out.
Go to Adara.
Right. What's up?
Consumer confidence well below estimates here, 98.3 versus the forecast of 102.5. It's also well below the previous print of 104.1, much below expectations. We also got Richmond Fed Composite Index here, higher than expected, 6 versus -3 expected. Just some other economic data headlines to keep an eye on. We have Fed's bar at 11:45. We have Fed's bargain at 1 p.m. And then now, apparently, I'm also seeing Trump is set to sign some executive orders at 3 p.m. So keep an eye on more volatility in this market. NASDAQ pushing to low of days here, getting that lower than expected CB consumer confidence print. Then we have IBIT, so just showing here that we have not only market-wide weakness, but crypto-wide weakness as well. Low of days here for IBIT. Not every name, though, is weak. We have some earnings plays like Home Depot pushing to the upside. In case you missed it, Home Depot did actually have a strong Q4 report. Their guidance, though, leaving a little bit to be desired. So some positive names in the market, but definitely a push to the downside after we got that number. Back to you.
Do have a downside push happening right now in the market. So just be careful with what we're seeing right now. Not a great number there. AMD is now over $2 in the money right now as it just continues to tank. Like we nailed that one, but obviously not good enough and got stopped out right there. Apple came through and broke through 247 on that number, so we went long and then got stopped out. But I think, honestly, this is one of those plays that we saw yesterday where the market sort of got washed out there and then just battled right back. So 21,200, that play right there, 247.15. I think if we can break that level, then we're going to go back long a little bit here. Let it settle down. We don't want to catch that falling knife again. So we'll see if it does want to break a little bit higher here for Apple. And if it does, then we'll push it through and see if we can hold, again, 247 again, or maybe even that localized bottom. But yeah, starting to push lower right now is Apple. So here we go. Let's see, man. If it breaks below, if it breaks, then great. Not great, but we don't, we'll trade it a little bit to the north side. Here it goes. So let's see. just resisted it again. So we're going to wait for that. I see him still going down. Good one there. We can't worry about what happened to us, obviously, on AMD because that was the top tick. And what are we going to do? It was one of the best ideas we had. We only had Apple and AMD there today. Tesla, man, getting absolutely clocked as well. Is there a level here on TSLA that potentially puts me interested? Wow, the daily chart's not the greatest. You guys know that we just bought some of this at 230. That's not going to be, sorry, 330. That's not going to be holding out pretty good. But on the daily chart, you go back here. What day is this? Oh, yeah, wow, November already. November 14th, back down to 308 was the bottom right there. We're at 311 right now, Obi. It's not, unbelievable that we go down another couple dollars from here. Right now, Tesla getting absolutely clocked. And there it goes, man. Bye-bye. Everything that Trump put through this market is now through. The market's gone red for the year, and it's pretty nasty out there, man. Janet Jackson style, down over 1% right now. Apple trying to hold out. AMD makes me want to throw up. Great trade over there on HIMS. Yeah, so far so good. It's just, I wish there was a little more oomph to that AMD trade earlier, and we would have still been able to be in that. But we'll see about Apple, see if it wants to get going here. It is holding out a little bit at 247. We'll give that a shot. Yeah, there it is, Miss Jackson, if you nasty. What's up, Adara?
Part of the show is brought to you by Oragenics. Each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., yet there's still no FDA-approved treatments. NYSE-listed Oragenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Oragenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. Back to you.
Dude.
I know, dude. I mean,
wild. Like, that's huge.
The amount of money that we both left on the table, really.
Yeah.
But that's what trading is. We talk about that.
You're always going to leave something on.
Yeah, we talk about not getting too emotional about the decisions that you're about to make, or even the trades that you're currently in. So let's just give it a little bit of a breathing room there. We got out of 15% of this as it went right up into the 200 period moving average, some 40s right there. We actually got some decent spots right there on Apple. Will it hold? I don't know. We hadn't looked at Nvidia yet. Oops, that's NVDS. Here's NVDA though. Wow. Oh man, like we nailed these chip names, man. It's just, unfortunately, we got run. And we got the opposite of rug pulled there. We got like reverse rugged right there on advanced micro devices. But okay, the other idea we had was Palantir today. We wanted to short up around that 94, 95 area. As you can see, we write those down in the pre-market. You saw me writing the sticky note here. It didn't get up there. It only got to 93 and change. A little bit more of a bump. We might have been short. I still have the offer there at 95, but that does not fill, obviously. And right now, you're come right back into another level, 86, 87. There goes Apple, by the way. So wait a second, we should not have got stopped out right there. Breaking through 247. I wanted it a little bit lower, but it doesn't matter. The fact that it gets stopped out there. So again, we take 20 cents, then we lose 15 cents, and now Apple to the downside. So let's not really try to fight this too much anymore. The day is still fine. It's just, we won't have any winners there, including this AMD and that Apple trade. Apple's fine, really. It's just didn't go for us. We're waiting for something bigger, right? So in trying to find a bigger trade, it might just be to the short side, Obi. I know you've still got that.
Yep.
Did you ever mention what percentage you have left, or whatever you want to say is fine?
Yeah, I mentioned before, less than 95%. So right now, what I have absolutely does not mean anything in terms of P&L, but what I'm focused on, like I said before, is more decision making, right? It's like, all right, so do I have what it takes to hold on to whatever percent, even if it's 1%, to a percentage of the position until a strong reason to cover actually shows up? And sure, I have other reasons to cover along the way, which I did follow, but maybe not to the best of my abilities. I covered, like I said, over 60, 70% on top of VWAP right here in the 40 halves and the 41s as well, but we're trading down to 37 halves. So I'm like, all right, well, you know what? How do I get better at this? I need to take the reps to hold, at least even if it's one share, even if it's nothing, right? I need to get into the reps to hold on to that so that in the future, when you have more aggressive position sizing, I have the ability to be like, all right, well, I'm still going to allocate 10, 20% of my position to a hold on certain exit rules. So that's what I've been trying to get better with. And yeah, so I'm holding on to absolutely nothing, but the trade here is to make good decisions, not necessarily how many shares I have in the trade as of right now. But I think the chunk that I was looking for, it already happened. It's giving me a lot more. I'm thankful for that. And I'm going to see where this one goes. What's up, Adara?
Just be aware here. I wanted to give a little bit of context for that CB consumer confidence number we got, because like a lot of these confidence or inflation prints, there's multiple elements to it. So, of course, the confidence number well below estimates. We got 98.3 versus 102.5, but there's other surveys in there. So apparently confidence in the present economic situation dropped to 136.5 versus 139.9 last month. Consumer confidence expectations also dropping, but here's pretty key. Median inflation estimates are at 4.8%. That is well above 4.2% the prior month. So lots more inflation is expected short term. That also backs up comments we had from Jamie Dimon saying that he expects some more inflation short term as well. So lots of inflation potentially on watch here. Back to you.
Why did that just stop out? 106.29. Okay, so now you're going to see me playing a little bit of a long on AMD. Why? Because I was just looking here. Obviously, oh man, that's going to haunt me, but that's okay. We had the same thing yesterday with Tesla and made it all back and wound up being. I didn't want to say anything yesterday, but okay, so right into here, we're just waiting against. So what I was going to do is waiting to see if that, okay, and it's going to get run over, but my idea here was that maybe that was a capitulated bottom. We did have that wick low right there on AMD, and it's not like it's a huge volume, but it wick low, then it made the new high, then it covered up that last, barely, but it did try to cover it anyways. That candle there, maybe that wasn't good enough. I thought we were trying to blast. I put a bid near the bottom of that candle. Then we sort of put a wrong stop order in, fat finger, got right back in. So now we're long right here on advanced micro devices just against that bottom. So if we break the low of the day, which is breaking 30s, then we're out. And that's not too far away. But again, just trying to see if there is a little bit of a playback into this area. So I really feel like it's worth it right now, 20 cents worth of risk. I think there's a little bit more upside to this play, Obi, and all we can really do is look at things and judge them by what we've seen in the past. I got wicked out right there, could get wicked out again, I don't know, but right now I'm down for this one here on AMD. Let me take a piece out if we can here in the mid 60s. Just looked like it rejected 65. Would like a little bit of follow through for once here, as I feel like I'm up against it the last couple days, picking great levels, but then getting wicked out a little bit. So here it goes. We'll take a little bit off there at 65s. Let's see if this wants to go right now. There's our 20 cents. That's back into the 1-to-1. Let's just get it going now. Let's just get it going. Again, we're going to go long AMD. We take out a quarter there for the R-to-R 1-to-1.
Yeah, so I'm kind of, again, I think HIMS I can take eyes off of. Let's see what that one does. I got my, again, covered most of it. On to the next trade. I want to see what you guys have been trading. What are you guys looking at going into the midday session as well? What are you guys looking to trade in terms of tickers? I know a lot of people had eyes on Bitcoin today. I'm watching Coinbase and MSTR, both of them nice little sell-off off of the open there, especially that Coinbase again. Maybe potentially coming into that 200 mark, and MSTR coming into that 250. So let's take a quick look at some of those tickers here. So again, crypto with a bit of a sell-off last night. So coming into today, yeah, maybe some of these crypto-related tickers might catch a bit of a sell. I think that's a good idea. But execution set, how are you potentially looking at getting involved into that? Maybe VWAP as well. You can see straight Kwadunk off of VWAP, opening range lows, test VWAP and kind of reject there as well, giving that, this is beautiful, absolutely. Look at that consolidation in the pre-market from 7 a.m. A little bit of a flat bottom there at that 216, and we can't really hold that on the flush, can't really sustain. So that 216, 215, you don't have to be up here all the way at 220s to really get involved. Once we give up that shelf, it's giving you another opportunity to kind of continue that trade all the way down to 208.80s currently, and of course you have that market tailwind as well. Let's take a look at what Bitcoin is up to, and yeah, a little bit of a sell-off all the way down to 86s and change, Sean. So absolutely crazy. Let's see if we can get down to 60s, 50s, maybe 30s. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Absolutely wild here. Some of the selling that's been going on in this market is absolutely beautiful. Is this some backside stuff? A lot of continuations. Oh yeah, I mean, Sharif knows I love the backside, and some of these fades on a higher time frame. Oh boy, the reversions are coming in quite nice. Just take a look at the spider, and you don't have to look any further than that to see some of the selling that's been going on. We'll go up to a higher time frame here, 3 hours, and yeah, look at that. 617 kind of highs there. We kind of cracked some of this trend as well.
Oh.
So yeah, a little bit of a backside action, but still sideways, still within range of some of the prices that we've been seeing over the past 3 to 6 months here on the spider. So I think well within range. Can't forget that spider is definitely one of the tickers that, again, it's very strong. It stonks only go up. It's a good example of stonks only go up. You go to a higher time frame, like a weekly or even a monthly. I like to go to the 3 month sometimes. Here, you can see what the spider looks like on a 3 month chart. Oh boy, Sean, oh boy. Where's pullback, backside on a 3 month? You can't even see that. It's not even there. So we're having volatility within this trend range on a higher time frame. And you know, those markets can be great for, especially for day traders where you're looking for, you know, strong volatility within quote unquote tight ranges. But ranges again relative to tight is relative to the time frame that you're looking at here. So the 3 month definitely still holding prior bar lows for multiple months on end here on the spider. No real strong signs of weakness just yet, but strong selling in the market nonetheless. So it could be interesting. I'm maybe looking for a potential break of prior bar lows on a 3 month chart on the spider, but that doesn't necessarily come in until 563.30s. We're trading 593s as of right now. So again, I don't know if we're gonna get there, but the market does seem very strong. But currently, very, very weak in terms of strong selling pressure here. Palantir, I was looking for to get involved underneath some of these levels. It's trading much lower, printing some fresh lows on the day. Here comes the market making even more fresh lows. Can we get to 21,100 flat on the NASDAQ? I have no idea, but oh boy, Sean, these sellers are definitely showing their hand. What else? What's the next trade? I'm kind of, you know, when I see strong action like this, my first reaction is usually like, oh boy, I want to get, I want to stare at some of this tape to look for reversion. Is there? Okay, hello. Intel, I have Intel tape here.
Intel
There's 1,000 lots on the ask, kind of chasing it down on Intel. So let's take a look at what Intel is up to here. Where's Buddy at? Okay, cool. Wow. Oh my God. I guess that looks like the market here on Intel, but yeah, 2420s to 23s with some size, maybe potentially chasing it down here on Intel. So yeah, chips obviously quadunking to the downside here. NVIDIA trading at 126 as I was looking at that 130 as a little bit of an over-under. Honestly, I was looking at that 129. We talked about that 129 being a strong over-under place for me, and NVIDIA cracking through that, trading 3 points lower at 126 as of right now. So a lot of missed trades. I took what I wanted, but I can always do better, kind of, you know, getting involved and taking more cookies out of the cookie jar. But, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I'm still disappointed in that AMD, which is now $4 or so. It's down to, just broke 106. All right, we're into a new position. You said what's the next one? Tesla's at 310. So I just tried this. I'm going to go trying it against 308 right now. My average position is 311.50. You know, we're not in a monster position here because we was hoping to get not hoping for this. We started obviously a little bit too early, but oh man, down 7% right now is Tesla. Oh geez. Who? I was just going to wait for 308 break because that was that level that we had talked about right here. And we're coming into it like full steam ahead right now. So, oh man, I thought I was getting better like the way I was feeling here, but I guess not. Okay, SMCI, I'm just gonna wait on it. Like I'm not gonna scalp this thing out or anything like that. If it breaks, man. It is a stupid thing to say, but we're just gonna have to wait for it. We should be short. We were short. We started the day short. And I was like, why am I short? Remember I said to Obi, I was like, why am I short the only name that's going up? And then AMD was like, nah, we'll go down. But we'll stop you up first. Then we went back in and out here at 106 and change. That was actually okay. Did a little bit okay until eventually broke. So that was kind of just a meh. We tried it right there, trying to get into some more shorts though. It doesn't seem like we can find any. All right, here goes. Tesla's just getting pressed. So here it is, man. It's going to break. Hands are off, and then we just have to regroup. Like we said, man, we should have looked the other way, I guess, and just gone short. There goes Tesla breaking through 308 again. So that was our stop out. We could have got out at 75%. I wound up getting out of all of it, but there it goes to the downside. So reverse dollar club there on Tesla as all these longs, man. Like there's been nothing. Look at the 5 minute here for Tesla. Like straight. This is why I thought maybe 311 was going to hold, because we did do a little bit of a bounce there. But the last 5 minutes, just extra pressure. Read all about it as this market comes right back in. So yeah, man, on days like today, I'm jealous of those that are using less share size, because maybe that was the play there today, as you just take the play and wait. You know, wait for as long as possible before waiting for a move. But honestly, man, there goes Tesla really getting wiped down right now. If you're going to look long, I don't think that's going to be right. Apple, though, is into the level that we had written down, 246. So it's here. It's a level that we liked. Our mind can easily change, right? And I think that might be worth a call down here, 246 for Apple. Strong name. Will the market battle back, man? The ES is really down 0.1 for the ES, down 0.8, sorry. NASDAQ down 1.5. Looks like Apple might, we'll try Apple small here, but maybe there's a bounce situation coming off 246 only because we wrote it down. But this is, for me, 20 cents worth the risk. I think it's probably worth it down here for Apple. Man, I'm going to cough again. Excuse me. Sorry, Obi.
No worries.
What are you looking at? Same.
I got eyes in Intel here as of right now. Kind of coming into some prior levels. I like it. It did a bit of a gap here from 2285s, and then gap fill in and around double top low. If you look on the daily chart, it's about 2250s here. So we're about 40 pennies away from there. So let's see what Intel has in store. I kind of yesterday, I was like, oh, one of the, remember when I showed my daily watch list, I was just like, oh, weekly backside on Intel ? And I was looking for it yesterday, and oh boy, did it come in. Again, higher time frame. It's coming in on the day today, along with the rest of the market. So I'm going to look for opportunities on this one potentially. Let's see if we catch a little bit of a bounce here, reversion potentially on the market. I'm going to stay patient. I'm going to watch, like Sean just said. Let's wait for the next opportunity. What's up, Adara?
Tell you what's certainly not up, and it's the IWM. They're down in the day, much like the rest of the market. Crushing through yesterday's lows, lower highs, lower lows. This is quite a sad story for that Russell 2000. We know it is particularly rate sensitive, as are all these small caps, right? And we did get a particularly worrisome inflation expectation print, at least in the medium term. That came through from the CB Consumer Confidence print. They're seeing 4.8% inflation now in the medium term versus 4.2% in last month's reading. Now we're going to be looking here at Lava Therapeutics, LVTX, basically announcing here that they're going to be evaluating some strategic options. Apparently this announcement setting it to the upside. Selection Therapeutics as well on watch here, SLXN. This one has rallied in the past, apparently announcing they've completed their initial study of their orthopic pancreatic cancer treatment models. Last but not least, ONVO, Organovo. This company, which has about a 15 million share float, going to be having their FXR program acquired by Eli Lilly. So Eli Lilly acquisition for ONVO. Back to the guys.
God, Apple just broke as well.
Yeah. I mean,
so like every level right now is just breaking. Like the short was so good, Obi, and we had it and lost our ways on that one. Shoot, man. Yeah, anything would have been right.
Yeah.
Tesla just wicked down to 306.
Oh, no way.
So there's
almost at that 300.
Yeah, 306.20.
Wow.
Right there for Apple. Bitcoin getting clocked as well. I'm taking a 246 break long, and then that's it, man. And then if that doesn't work out, then we are, excuse me, Jeez, man. I honestly, Obi, man, I hope I hope I don't pass this over to you because we don't have you. We're in trouble. Okay, so here we go, man. We're gonna take that trade and see if a 246 holds. Like again, I don't, wicked bottom, who knows? But right there, that is 245.50, so we'll see if that comes into play at some point here for Apple. But for right now, nice move to the downside. We'll see if it wants to hold this level. But futures down to 21,000 again on the NASDAQ, right? Down 1.6%. Seems like a bad day. Could get a lot worse. We've seen the NASDAQ push 3% at points. So here we go, man. We'll see if Apple wants to get going. Looks like we're back into this name. So Apple here, let's just let it settle and see if it wants to play nice back upside.
Yeah, I think just watching this trend down, and I'm just
Tough
like,
day.
okay, well, yeah, we broke. I was looking for that 21,100 to come in here on the NASDAQ. That came in, that flushed even harder. And yeah, 21 flat maybe could potentially come in with a bit of a bounce. But we're getting some bounce as of right now, a bit of a reclaim of that 21,100. But yeah, let's see. Sellers are definitely in charge. A lot of these tickers are selling off. Mag 7s, a lot of them to the downside. Surprisingly enough, relative strength on Apple. Apple's still holding within yesterday's ranges there. We saw that consolidation in and around 245s, 246s yesterday on Apple. And we're still holding that 246 as of right now here on Apple. So relative strength, Apple's the only one really showing it. And in terms of crypto names, yeah, nothing really catching a bid here. I'm looking at Mara, I'm looking at IBIT, I'm looking at Coinbase, I'm looking at MSTR, and a lot of these tickers, the short was the way right off of the open, and definitely wasn't involved. But hopefully you guys were. VWAP was a great place. I kind of looking back at it in retrospect. Some of these tickers holding that VWAP as some resistance, kind of showing you. And again, looking back at it, HIMS did the same, right? HIMS held that VWAP, it consolidated underneath it, giving me a chance to get in a little bit more on the rebid up into this 41.5. You see this red line is basically VWAP. We reject that VWAP once again, kind of showing us that sellers might still be in charge, again, on an SSR name. So yeah, absolutely beautiful opportunities to get short here. I do not have, I just had one, but yeah, it's working out. It's working out all right here. Definitely could have held a little bit more. But again, like I said, just making some of those decisions. Trading at 36.60s now, all the way down from 42s. Absolutely wild here. Some of the other tickers that are selling off are the energy names, the quantum-related energy names like Oklo. So I got some of those on watch as well. OKLO selling off. I know you were looking at some of these. We can take a look at SMR and NNE. You can see similar story here. Bigger picture, these tickers have been selling off. We saw this theme get really popular over the past couple of months. A lot of volume pushed into some of these tickers, and we're catching a bit of relief here. Absolutely beautiful reversions happening on the higher time frame. CEG is another one from this basket, and you can see, oh boy, 267s all the way down to 250s. 250s clean trading on CEG as of right now on Constellation Energy. So yeah, sell-off happening everywhere in the market. So that, you know what I want to do right now, Sean, I'm going to check the map. So let's take a quick look at the map and see the sector map and see what's actually catching a bid as of right now.
I'm the map.
I'm the map.
I'm the map. No swiping. No swiping.
Can you say sellers are in charge? No, I'm joking. But yeah, so consumer defensive bidding, healthcare is bidding, Lilly, oh boy, okay, LLY. We know somebody who really likes this ticker. Shout out to Dara. 900, so yeah, catching a bid, looking distinctly different from the rest of these. Walmart as well, oh boy. Oh, man. So consumer staples, I was looking at, whoa, my God. Wayne, have you looked at consumer staples today? Another day of some continuation here. What was the ETF? I think it was XLP. So let's take a quick look at XLP. Shout out to Wayne for introducing me to this ETF yesterday. Oh boy. So that bid coming in on staples. So money moving around definitely for sure here as staples continue to bid up. So where is the bid, you might be asking? Look no further. Look at a map of the market here, and you can see that consumer defensives are definitely trending up. Pepsi as well. This was a ticker that I was looking for continuation over the past couple of days. You can see back to back eventually the bid does catch. On Friday, where the rest of the market sold off, you can see how aggressively bid Pepsi was to basically opening up near day lows and closing at or near the day highs. And then coming into the next day, strong push off of the open. Coming into today, strong push off of the open. Absolutely wild. Coke as well. Again, Philip Morris, we were looking at that yesterday a little bit as well. Philip Morris also bidding up. So a lot of consumer staples. Let's see what else we have on this list here. So in healthcare, we looked at Lilly, UNH actually to the downside, J&J another one. Here, I was looking at J&J on a higher time frame, and I was like, if we break this trend, this range trend to the downside and consolidate above, oh boy, I don't know what that means for the rest of the market, especially with J&J being a bit of a staple here. So let's take a look at, okay, can't do the 9-hour. Let's go to the weekly here. And you can see we're kind of testing some of these range highs, Sean. You can see this is absolutely beautiful here. Kind of a held offer a little bit here on the weekly since 2022. This is J&J, right? So J&J 165s to 170s, bit of a resistance happening for the past 3 to 4 years here, and we're coming back into some of those levels. So if J&J can break out here, and if money is really moving into some of these staples, I'm asking what's going to happen to a lot of risk-on assets and a lot of tech names that we know are heavily being, I guess, have heavy interest from retail as of recent. So again, all questions I'm asking, observing this price action, absolutely beautiful. I have nothing else to say. Where's the next trade is what I'm looking for. I'm waiting for something else to fall into my lap. But something that is falling into laps right now, Sean, is Google. And Google was on one of my lists for continuation. I was like, okay, out of the Mag 7, what am I looking for continuation? Google was on there. What did I write down on my morning watch list here? Google 180 over under. Look for continuation if it's holding underneath VWAP. And again, very simple idea. Could we have executed on this? Let's see how well it held VWAP. Oh boy, look at that. Right off of the open, it wicks VWAP. VWAP cannot get above VWAP right here at 939. Sellers push it down. We're trading below 180, so that's fulfilling the initial criteria for taking this trade. Oh boy, indeed. And then take a look at that. 178s, 177s for another flush to the downside, giving us 175.60s currently trading at the day low. So wow. Yeah, so a lot of these trades kind of working out here, and I don't really necessarily have a lot of them on board, but you know what? I'll look for the next trade, and I think that might be a potential reversion if tickers can catch a bit of a bounce. But this market is looking, most of the market is looking blood red here. And again, you notice that Adara is wearing red today, but only half red, so half of the market's kind of red today. I don't know how much of a correlation that has to anything, but statistically significant, to say the least.
Good, yeah, well, now we know. I mean, we definitely, it seems to be a proven entity at this point. Tesla 306, we were oh boy about it last time, we just broke it right now. We're long Apple, but I'm gonna let it settle. Hopefully we can get a move upside. I have no idea if Apple's gonna go. The one name that I wanted to look at, we already talked about shorting AMD. We were there, we missed it. Tesla, I know there's a lot of people on it, so I want to look at it. Here goes Tesla potentially back up there to the upside off of that 306. We talked about 308 maybe being a key level. We tried it there and then lost it. So we were in and out. So Tesla's fine for us today, just not great because of it did lose itself. So that was not a good one, like M&M lose itself, I guess. The NASDAQ still a move down. There was a name I wanted to look at. Oh, I just want to check on the health of Palantir right now. I know that's not too healthy. Down to 86, 87, down 4%. You know, to try to find a bottom, I wanted to, 50-period moving averages right there as well. So maybe something happening right there for Palantir at some point. But for right now, downside, could get a bouncing spot there at 86. What's up, Adara?
Bitcoin is certainly not up here. We are at lows of days. This is a daily chart, guys, for BTC. So I talked about this yesterday too. We had that pseudo double top when we made new all-time highs on January 20th inauguration date. I was reading we're down roughly 20% from that all-time high on inauguration day. A couple different reasons have been attributed to this sell-off. Of course, we have market-wide weakness, but specific to Bitcoin, we were really expecting some Bitcoin-heavy executive orders early into Donald Trump's presidency, specifically with regards to a crypto reserve. We haven't gotten that necessarily. He does have a crypto and AI czar, David Sachs. David Sachs at one press conference that Trump didn't even attend. But the point really that we're trying to make is that emphasis on crypto in the new administration has not been to the extent that was necessarily expected. Not only are we well below 90,000 now, hanging out at this 86,000, we don't really have support until right after the election here. That's going to be around that $85,000 level, currently at 86.1. So let's see if Bitcoin is able to reprieve itself and push back to the upside, but not looking great for BTC this point of the day. And all of the crypto tickers, as you could expect, pretty weak today as well. MSTR especially to the downside. Let's talk about what some of these other cryptocurrencies are doing. Ethereum, which has been hanging out in that 2,600 range for quite some time, now below 2,400, down 11%. XRP down 10.5%, Solana 11%, Doge 12, Tron 7, Cardano 11, Shiba 6. So there's very few. There's really no names that are spared here. It's not if they're selling off, it's how much they're selling off, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's not if but when. All right. So we're back into Apple. We're long at 245. We've been fighting it down here, just trying to get again a name that Adair said doesn't matter about kind of like if, but how much. You know, Apple was a name that I didn't think was going to get hit as hard as the market, but it really did. I mean, it just came through. The reason why it's not down more is because it had such a great move to begin with, right? I mean, it was all the way to the upside, and then it just had to lose some of that momentum. So realistically, still down down $5 top to bottom there on Apple. We've had more dramatic moves than that. It was Walmart, as you were talking about XLP there. We talked about Walmart the other day. I was like, if you can get that 95, that's not horrible there on Walmart. That was the 50-period moving average. But yesterday you got 92. I remember looking at it and it was like 92 and change. And we're just like, what? Excuse me. And that's where I sort of thought that this 90 area or so could be something. So, we were, that's right, the split hits the charts. But right into their 90 and change for Walmart is where I sort of thought. But yeah, that wick down there into 92. So up 3%. In a game that's been, hard to find strength. You had mentioned it there in some of the consumer names. So this is the biggest one around. Also Costco. A lot of us won't trade this name. Wow, still 1,050. Okay, so it didn't have the Walmart hangover at all. It actually is close to its all-time highs. You're now about $30 away from 1080. So nice move up there for Costco today, up 1.2% as that name keeps on going. I'm going to try to let Apple go up. We just got in and around there. Got some more outs in the 60s. We were really starting to layer some of those out as we're just sort of cutting some of the blood right there. I should have known that this was going to be one of these days when we had that tick right there. When we were building the short, it was a good position for us. Didn't wind up getting hit on that much, but we like to take an L of being short AMD at 108.40 is tough. That's down $3 now. So, okay, there. So you're back into Intel. Intel's down to 23. A name that's been really getting hit off of earnings. We just talked about what Walmart was doing. Reddit, man, like this name, I don't know. Everyone's smart going long it, but where's the shorts at? Like now it's 220 down to 155 and change. Not looking great on a daily chart here for Reddit. Right back into some levels. So if you've liked the name, you've done your work on it. I'm not even sure what the PE is. We'll have a look, but this looks like it wants to hold. This 155 or so, it's only testing right now, but this has been levels that have held in the past. We've been to 180, back down to 150 a couple times, created that channel, and right now 155, 156, not a horrible spot there for RDDT to start to look at. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one to trade because you have this spread involved. Wow, crypto, man, really getting spanked right now. I'd like to hear what some of the bulls have to say right now. A lot of traders caught northbound on crypto. I mean, I don't know anybody that got out near the top there. Joe had mentioned that he had sold some of his to look for lower. So that was a good one. I hadn't heard anybody else. So $55, $53, wow. Bitcoin, IBIT, everything getting cranked. This is where that buy and hold forever method does not work out. But okay, let's go over to Adara.
This part of the show is brought to you by eSignal. Traders, listen up. First month, free. That's right, we're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to Elite. Analyze, strategize, capitalize, because our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts. Predict with back testing, reliable, real-time data, global markets, at your fingertips. All in one platform, so do not miss out. Execute your best trades now with eSignal. Are you ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara. Yeah, a little bit of a reversion happening here
I'm
on
trying to wait,
Intel. Market's also catching a little bit of a bid. First green candles since the open on this 15-minute chart.
Come on.
And how much time is left for this 15-minute candle to print? Let me just check.
Come on, Apple, you can do it.
7 minutes, 7.5 minutes, about halfway there.
Not really getting
so,
it today, my
let's
guy.
see where VWAP here is on Intel 2333s here, so about 10. Roughly 10 pennies away. I kind of liked it down at the 23s. It was holding a bit of a stacked bid there as well, giving us some confluence. But let's see if it'll continue. Can it get to VWAP? I have no idea. Again, the market's catching a little bit of a bid, but you got to remember that sellers are definitely in charge, right? Sellers are definitely in charge on the day today. You got to give us some more information here. If we kind of can't get all the way to VWAP, then yeah, it kind of shows that sellers are willing to step in before that, or whatever, right? All I'm looking for is there any significant selling happening? And as of right now, a bit of a reversion. The bid had caught back on, but let's see if the futures revert as well. Definitely that tailwind is going to help here. Again, Intel having a pretty, I forget what last time I checked the beta on Intel was. Let's see what the beta on Intel
Can't be
is.
too strong.
No, it can be. Yeah. Okay,
What, against the market?
Yeah, 1.02. So yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, that's
cool.
pretty close.
So
Wow.
that's pretty close to 1. But yes, with the market bidding up here, let's see if Intel can catch a little bit of a bid as well. What's the ATR? You may ask. $1.37 is one ATR on Intel. So the opening range highs
Let's
at
go.
24s came all the way down to 22.8. So it's been a little bit of an ATR mover here on Intel. Let's going. Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
I mean, let's
A
go.
little bit of a long there happening.
We had hundreds of shares, not thousands of this trade, but still, it's a dollar club right now. Thank you, Sharif, for hitting that one. I don't want you to look at Tesla. What do you think the price is?
300. No, with the bounce, actually, let's say 315.
Exactly, right? So that was a much better guess, I would say. Much closer with the first one. Look at this.
Boy.
I was kind of,
all right.
I was trying to set you up a little bit
Tesla.
there. Yeah, you nailed it first, right?
Yeah, I was like, wait, 300?
Play the trial. I was like, holy shit, the guy was on close to being right. Because I was like, okay, with this bounce up, I was going to look back and say, where's Tesla? And I was like, don't tell me, like I got out of this thing at 308 break there.
Something's not looking.
And where are we at right now? But oh boy, right now, here goes Apple again. Like we say, man, you play with fire, you get burned. That happens all the time. And yeah, we got burned up a little bit today trying to trace some of these longs. And again, the patience didn't really. This doesn't matter. I'm not going to say this is patience. We have the same amount of shares here as we did here as we did here. It's just now working. You know, traders that get. I'm lucky enough to be, been here for so long and have virtually no stop, right? And I mean, it's just like, I have one, but the company's lucky enough just to trust me and I'll do what I do here. But at the end of the day, it's like, if you chased all these longs, your account's probably stopped out or not great. My account's not great either right now. But at the end of the day, we had battled back there from yesterday, and I do feel lucky to be able to take so many shots at these names. It doesn't mean that that's the right way to trade. It's not. But again, you gotta be what you're doing. Like, look at this. Apple just goes. We're out of half of this trade, but Apple just made that nice move back upside. I'm gonna get out. Man, I'm gonna cough again here. I'm gonna get out some more here, sub 246, as it is having a hard time. We just got some nice outs there at the 50-period moving average, or close enough to it. So VWAP and 247. I'm not sure that's coming or going right now. Alibaba would be a name to look at as well. It's 340. I wish it's 1040 right now. Alibaba, this is where some of the strength lies too, man. Look at this chart. Obi, would you take a look at that? Up 4% now.
Wow.
What's the last kind of tech name that we looked at? Walmart, which is not, but we looked at Alibaba right now, up to 134 and change. So nice ripper right there. Would have loved to notice that one instead of Apple. Like, Apple's a $250 name, and I can't even get this thing up 50 cents. Right now, that's up a straight $3 right there for Alibaba. So congratulations. Yeah, Daryl, you got stopped out too on AMD, says Daryl. Okay, so that's what I'm saying, man. Traders unite. It's not, it's going to hurt because we're playing with shares, my guy. But at the end of the day, we did get stopped out there on AMD, which does suck, down to 105. NVIDIA also getting clocked out a little bit today as well, down to 126, down 3% for AMD. Still above our DeepSeek levels that we bought in and around 120. But yeah, not a nice day there for NVIDIA. It's Adara. She's at the screen.
I'm blending in quite nicely with this side of the board because there's a lot of weakness in technology. NVIDIA very weak ahead of its earnings tomorrow after the bell. Apple, Broadcom here also selling off. And then we have technology services, which is not faring better in any way. Oracle, Palantir, very much to the downside. We've got Meta, Google, Microsoft, all three of our Mag 7s in the sector, all down more than 1%. Amazon dragging down an otherwise pretty stable retail trade sector here with Walmart and Home Depot, both strong. Home Depot here, earnings day one. Walmart with an upgrade. Finance is a bit more mixed. JPM, Goldman Sachs, the downside, but BRKB, which had a great day yesterday, continuing to push up higher in what is arguably its earnings day two. Health technology, great look for most of these names here, including Eli Lilly. Consumer non-durables, really strong. Communications, strong. Process industry, strong. But as we had Obi mentioned, some of these nuclear names aren't great. And with that in mind, utilities, having some names like Vistra and CEG, trade sharply lower today. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Oh, boy. There's some acceleration there happening on this 15-minute candle on Intel and the market as well as we pull right up into VWAP. 23.35. So we got a beautiful reversion to VWAP here, and I did kind of piece out. Oh boy, I did kind of piece out of a decent. I'd say just over 50% here. Going to be willing to take off more, so I only have about a third of what I got into. And oh boy, Sean, that 23, that action that we had at 23. So now we're reclaiming VWAP. So we've already gotten about a 30% reversion from the lows. Can we get a 50% reversion? We're about that would mean printing 2350s here on Intel. We're back up at 2340. So, oh boy, this thing is absolutely wild here. I want to take off a little bit more because the trade I was looking for has already come into fruition, which was reversion to VWAP. And we get that market tailwind coming alongside us as well, giving us a little bit of confluence and confirmation as well. So I might get a little aggressive here in and around VWAP. If it gives us a little bit more, like I said before, I'm going to practice a little bit of patience with holding, let's say about 10 to 15% of whatever I initially had for fruition. If VWAP sellers do come in like they are kind of showing themselves as of right now, going into the close of this 15-minute candle with about 30 seconds left, more than willing to piece off a lot more there on Intel. But yeah, quick little scalp here. Tesla coming into that 300 mark, 301.74s.
I was just saying, are we shorting this, man?
Yeah. So I think the idea is like if you have inventory for the 300, like like it's been trending down very aggressively, holding trend very tightly on Tesla here. I have the chart pulled up on this window here. But yeah, you can see clean selling all the way from the open, 330s. Nice little consolidation low break. Prior day low break comes in real hot off of the open, 324s. What was prior day low? 324.70. And oh boy, let's go down to the 1 minute right here. 324.70. What do we do around there? 324.70. Okay. All right. So we get a little bit of a 325 reject and a break back down of opening range lows happening at 321 halves. And then it doesn't really come in. Maybe a little bit of a held offer here on the 1 minute chart. 321s kind of stands out, and we just sell off of there. 300s incoming, but do I expect it to be clean? Absolutely not. I think the trade was to take inventory into the 300 and then maybe look further there. But that 300 breakdown could be a trade in itself. But like I said, not expecting it to be clean at all. Let's see what happens. This market's finally catching a little bit of a bid here. First 15-minute candle that is green was printed just now in the prior 15. Yeah, let's see if we get a second one, maybe a reversion on the markets as well. I'm looking for 21,200, but this VWAP consolidation here on Intel has me intrigued as well. Maybe time to piece off a little bit more. If we can hold and reclaim above VWAP, then maybe that can be some more reason to buy, maybe some more reason to engage for a continuation there. So now I have just my leftover, like I said, that 10% that I'm willing to hold to see if some of this continuation does happen on the markets, or Was this just a little bit of a bid and sellers step back in at VWAP, which Intel has been showing right off of the open, not only just Intel, a lot of the other tickers across the board that have been selling off, showing some resistance off of that VWAP. So again, good place to execute. Yeah, looking for the next trade. Show me in the chat what you guys have been trading. I want to take a look at some of those names here. Oh boy, Alphabet continues to make some fresh lows, Sean.
Man.
Oof. That one definitely relatively weak, and I was like, okay, well, this thing has room to the downside if it can crack 180, and we're trading 175.
That's 200 period moving average on the daily.
Yeah. Rejections all around. We're kind of cracking some significant higher time frame support trends as well. If you look at some of the mags.
You pulled up that 3-month chart?
3 months.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, I mean, we're fine.
That's what I was going to, no, I was just going to say, like, No, that's not what I'm necessarily saying. What I'm saying is that we did have a pretty epic 3-month period there. And it does suck when there's, you're caught at the top, and if you were playing earnings season, and most of the earnings came out actually pretty strong, and I could see some people trying to buy dips into that, but that's all getting liquidated now, as many of these names are now back below sort of that gap fill. I mean, and you just mentioned Google. Here it is on the daily. There's the 200 period moving average right there at 175 and change, Andre, coming in right there. So that could be, again, if I'm already loaded up on this thing, but like that's a good level again as well, right? 175, 175.50 right there for Google. Shoot, man, I'm not playing around with like, the long-term account. I don't even want to look at it. Like the amount of money, we could have a 6-figure hit here today alone on this market. So, yeah, I mean, I don't even want to look at it. So we'll figure it all out. All right, at the end of the day, though, it is what it is. Okay, so NVIDIA, I was looking at this 128 and change. I mean, shout out to everybody there. That's woe is me as well with that AMD trade, because we did nail it, and we're just gonna figure it out after that. There's VWAP right here for NVIDIA. I don't think you really want to get excited until you mention the market trying to break higher. Good dip by there, obviously, on Intel at 123. At least we're still long 19 something on that one. At least that one's still in the money. But yeah, 128, 127. On our watch list today, shout out to Watchlist Nation, it had Wafoo on it. And if you just traded that one, you got a halt early at 950. So that was it right there. Nice move up to $7 for Wafoo, and now all the way down into 130 right there for Wafoo, 130%, but coming right back into the levels that were supported before. Reason why I bring this up now is because of that reason. Came into the 200 period, fall right into possible support, WAFU. You're looking to make a little something back right now, and you're a cowboy or cowgirl or cow they, this is a good move right there back to the upside potential on Wafoo. I took some more out, whoopsies. I took some more out of Apple. Look, P&L wise here, it's a little different because we have Obi that does put on some shares and some bigger trades, but this is going to be a big P&L trade for me, but it doesn't matter. We're still going to be red on the day. It matters. We made some money back, and it's about being confident and not like, hanging your head. So we'll make back like 20 or 30% of our day right here with Apple right now. It's just that we had lost it. Like we had lost early, we lost on AMD, and we lost on Tesla. So we only have those 3 trades today. Yeah, just for that reason, I'm gonna get out some more here at 89. Come on, that's my ARCO holding it? Really? Okay, look, did we get filled there? Yes, we did. Okay, thankfully. Wow. Okay, Adair, only 10 minutes left. Let's go find out what's going on with Forex.
Still such a downtrend here on the daily chart for that DXY. Lower highs, lower lows, still very much intact, though. As of today, we have not taken out yesterday's low. And it's worth noting, we actually have a bit of a bottoming tail candle yesterday on the DXY. As I said, not taking out that low yet, but certainly looking a lot weaker from a candle perspective. Selling off right now pretty significantly. Currently low of day around 106.3. And the biggest economic number of the day by far, in terms of what we were waiting for and what the market reacted to, was that consumer confidence print for the month of February. It came in lower than expected. This is CB consumer confidence, not the more closely watched University of Michigan number, but CB consumer confidence here, 98.3. That is much below the estimate of 102.7, and it's also below the prior print of 104.1. Now, why is this significant? Beyond the weakness, basically showing that we have consumers feeling less confident, we also have an inflation aspect to this number, just like what we have with the University of Michigan print. And the inflation aspect was kind of troubling. We basically have 4.8% now is what people are seeing the medium inflation rate versus the prior of 4.2. So much like what we have with some recent University of Michigan prints, we are seeing an uptick potentially in inflation or fears of inflation. Not a great look there for that sentiment. Here is the September CME Fed Watch tool in terms of what we think the rates are going to be. And this is the first one I can find where we're seeing more expectations of a cut than we are of a hold. So that means we're not seeing any kind of cut priced in for now in a meaningful way until September 2025. Earlier today, and this is before we had that number come through for the CB consumer confidence, we actually did have B of A saying they don't actually see any cuts this year. So we'll have to wait and see, but the case for a rate cut in 2025 is seeming increasingly grim. However, not to fear, we'll have Fed speakers to clear some of that up for us. Keep an eye on comments from, I believe we have a Fed starting at 11:45, then we've got another Fed speaker at 1 p.m. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara. A little bit of a bounce happening. So we got that continuation, second 15 green. So shout out to all the longs, shout out to all the reversions. Intel, again, like I said, I covered, about 90% again at VWAP, just holding on to a bit of a trail. Have a little bit more out in the 23, just underneath 2340s here on Intel. But yeah, beautiful reversion coming in with the market tailwind, so thankful for that. But yeah, where is the next trade? Where's the next scalp? And Google was a bit of a missed opportunity. Kind of the whole market turning on that one there. I was looking for that 175 to crack through, and that didn't really come in. 175 held with the 175.15 current day low. We're getting that reversion to VWAP. VWAP sitting at 176.70. But yeah, a little bit harder, I would say, to kind of snipe this one here. But again, if you're using some of that market confluence, you can see that even HIMS and hers themselves is also kind of consolidating sideways here, maybe catching a little bit of a bid. Finally, maybe poised for a bit of a turnaround here. So this trade, again, like I said, I'm going to wait to make the right decision on this one. If this one consolidates sideways for long enough, I will get timed out of the trade, and we'll see where that one goes from there. But yeah, a little bit of a chop happening here on HIMS. But yeah, let's see if Intel can reclaim VWAP. Like I said, if it can get above VWAP and it holds above VWAP and starts to consolidate above VWAP, maybe we can continue to look for a push back up, maybe a V-shape all the way to 24s, but that would mean the market would have to be definitely trading a little bit higher. Again, we talked about the beta on Intel. It is following the market pretty well on a day like today. Some days it doesn't necessarily do that. There's definitely days where there's a strong disconnect. Oh my God, look at the MSTR reversion to VWAP. MSFT, nice.
MSFT or MSTR?
MSTR. No, my muscle memory, whenever I do MS, it just goes FT right after. But MSTR, beautiful reversion. Failure to follow through on the 250. 250 was definitely a little bit of an interesting price that I was watching. It goes down to 247 halves. Again, maybe some of those options levels coming in every $2.50 ish. That 7 halves I really like underneath a hole, especially something like 250, and we basically hold that price 247.70s for a push back up. Again, reversion with the market. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing and see how much of a bounce that's caught on this little move here. So 85,800s were the lows there, trading at 87.3s as of right now. So a bit of a pull up here on Bitcoin, reverting about, let's say, a little more than 30% of the move off, just giving it an eyeball there. And Ethereum, though, just consolidated sideways on a 30-minute chart as of right now. So check the next trade that... SPF, that's jokes in the chat. But you know what is consolidating and has done absolutely nothing today? A ticker that I was trading yesterday and I did have eyes on today because of the interesting action it did yesterday was Nike. I was like, is Nike going to do it? No, it's not just doing it today. It's still kind of trading within its prior day's consolidation range. We saw that the opening drive was very aggressive on Nike, but it made a range and traded there for 6 hours. So coming into today, I was like, all I'm doing, simple. I'm going to take a range break on this. If it breaks 81s, I want to look for the long. If it breaks 79 halves, I want to look for the short. Guess what it's doing today? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Kind of just a consolidation of that 80 halves as of right now, just orbiting. So nothing really there for me. But if you are a range trader, then Nike is your pick on the day today. Not really doing too much, giving you about a 80 30s. What's the lows? 80 20s and highs in and around 80 60s to 80 70s maybe. But the range is kind of compressing as well on Nike. So a bit of a range trade happening there. I want to know what you guys are trading. I know MLGO has been a hot one on a lot of people's watches over the past couple of days at the very least there. Yeah, Friday, very aggressive move on Friday, all the way up to 11s. Beautiful backside there. Shout out to my swing shorts getting in on the backside move on the trend break of day one there. But yeah, a little risky business, but coming in, you do get that follow through on day two of that move. And today, just holding that range of that day two. So interesting stuff. Today's day low, opening range lows as well, 385s on MLGO. So yeah, some strong moves on that day one on Friday, but yeah, yes, T-Money. I definitely love the backside there. Again, very distinct. Front side, it shows you what's happening, but distinctly different is the backside, and coming in very beautifully there on MLGO here. So yeah, don't really have too much else to watch, to talk about here as the market. It looks like it's reverting a little bit. I'm waiting for the next trade. Potentially SMCI, again, don't forget, waiting for that SMCI to still come in. 50 could not really hold here on SMCI. We're trading a little bit lower, but again, with the market catching a little bit of a bounce, we've been consolidating since about 10 o'clock here on SMCI. So a bit of a range forming, 48s to 46.30s day low. Let's see if this range breaks one way or another. That news could potentially bring in some volatility on SMCI, so I'll be having a continued watch on this ticker going into the midday and going into the close as well. So that's
cool. Yeah. We do have, running out of time, it's going to float into the midday show. We do have Jeff Mendel coming through from OTC Markets. Going to talk to Sharif and Joe. And I think it's a great day to talk to him because we're going to talk about, what's happening obviously on his market and then some of the symbols that, are able to trade over there that you may not be able to trade during open markets. Some of the Chinese ADRs and whatnot, market closed. And you can see what's happening right now in the broader market. So shout out to Jeff, and he'll be there in just a couple of seconds. I want to thank you for coming through one more time. Obi, the man, the myth, the legend. We do have Apple still. We just got some more out. That really started to go. So those are some good levels for us. We'll wait to see if that can breathe a little bit. AMD found that bottom. Oh, the one name I want to talk about before we go, there's only one more minute left, and then we'll throw it. But that Tesla, some of you guys said, F it. I'm YOLOing down here at $3. So if you did that, you got a huge move back to the 50-period moving average. You got $7 on that bump from 300 back up to 307. So that's like a play for me. That is right there. Definite opportunity to have shorted and or gotten a little lighter on that long. And I mean, that's I'm trying to do as I preach. Like when we got up to the 50 period, we got more out there as well. So I'm also trying to do that on some of these major cap names. Alibaba, as we get ready again to talk to Jeff a little bit, this name here in the Chinese space, nice move up, man, over 3.7% to the north side. This is one of the better ones right there. I want to thank everybody. There we go. Nice short T-Money right there. You're shorting right there, 307. So a good one again, man. Let the SPY bleed, a lot of people are saying right there. And yeah, man, I mean, sometimes you get what you wish for. People want lower prices to get better entries. Yeah. Merry Christmas right now today, as some of these prices might not get too much lower than this, or will they? I mean, what kind of cycle are we in? Rate hike, rate cut? That's still up in the air right now, and we're getting through earnings season. Some of these last couple ones, not the greatest. We had Tempest, we had HIMS, great trade on HIMS, great trade on Intel today as well. But there it is, man. I want to thank everybody for watching. We had over 11,000 plus at one point. We're setting records every single day. You've now found the best trading show, period. We've got the best traders, period. And we've got the best news anchor, period. We have okay technical assistants, period. No, just joking. Thank you to Fabian. What's up, Fabian? Oh, I really liked that look that we had with Fabian yesterday. Oh, you were here.
Yeah, I was here. Yeah,
where we did that. So I want to do more of that. So
that.
Shout out to Fabian, man. And Andre, thank you so much. I'm not sure, did I see Ramin today? Yeah. Okay, so shout out to Ramin as well. Brendo's back. We're all really super happy. It's a great team. And regardless of the net, today. We're going to be red today. Regardless of that, turn that frown upside down because there's always more trading.
Exactly.
And it's the best show yet to come. It's the Midday Madness. Obi, let's go.
Boom.
Let's spin it.
Take it away.
Bye, guys.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to the Midday Gotcha. How to trade show during the midday. That is your boy Joey Options, and I'm Sharif. And we're gonna wait for everyone to come on over from